Good morning, everyone in Macon, Georgia, Middle Georgia, and everyone else around the world through the World Wide Web. This is the Morning Roast for Friday, Flatulent Friday. This is November the 15th, 2013. Thank you. Can you smell what the roast is brewing? Don't answer that.
Good morning.
We're here live from the doghouse, from the nut house, the crazy house.
Make a fake sound effect.
Oh,
That was real.
well, yeah.
That came from the heart, from the heart.
We're
Morning,
here.
everybody.
Good morning. We're here live from the nut house
We're good.
with Irv, Ed, and DB here.
Yeah.
I'd rather be live than dead from the night.
I hope we're not having the same shit we had yesterday.
Yes,
Right.
In
yes.
and out, whatever.
There was a program. I don't know. Did you happen to see last night on CNN? It was the documentary of the JFK assassination.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, it was the co-executive produced by Tom Hanks, Oscar and Emmy winner. He's
Well done.
very well done. It was very thorough. What I really liked about it more that they not just talk about the assassination and the funeral of JFK, but also the theories. But not just that, but they also talked about the smaller people, the supportive people that were around it.
The hoe is in the number one position.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you were saying?
Yes, they also talked about the murder of J.D. Tippit, who the press definitely knew Lee Harvey Oswald did kill, because on his
That
way.
was the police officer.
Yes, the police officer J.D. Tippit. He was the one who heard about it. He just happened to be, unfortunately, on his way on patrol or what have you, and he happened to just encounter Lee Harvey Oswald after he left the depository building, and he just shot him.
Depository or suppository?
No,
The Dallas building.
depository.
The Dallas building.
Yeah. And, yeah, it was quite thorough. I mean,
Yeah.
I like, by the way, there was a couple of people there that they talked to. One of them sounded very much like New York.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny. I mean, this is, 50 years ago, but it felt like the guy was around today. I mean,
Yeah.
the way he spoke, and there was another guy that was interviewed where he said they should take him and burn him, and I don't know if you remember that.
Oh yeah, they need to take him and burn him, and they said they need to hang him and chop up into little pieces.
Yeah, and then burn him, and the reporter walks away from it. Thank you. But it was quite unique. It was great to see the interviews of the people at that time. I think that was one of the things that really was captivating.
Mm-hmm.
Just hearing how people reacted.
Yeah.
Even the old woman, remember, just before she was told, she was crying, older woman with glasses. She said, "Oh, he's my president, I love him." And then when they said John F. Kennedy is dead, you see her like jump. Oh, the reaction was so caught on tape.
Yeah.
And it still felt kind of the same way. I mean, I
Still
jumped
feels
at her
fresh,
reaction.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Because-
it really did bring you back.
Well, yeah, because it's kind of like how the internet and all these other stories are like fresh and new and bam, right? So full of emotion right now. That's how it was 50 years ago. That's when basically TV news really
Was real.
was real, when it was at its peak, at its peak right there. Because before TV, I mean, basically the only way a person was actually able to get the news, or at least breaking news, was either through the radio, which you saw on the Waltons and stuff. All of them the family hold around the radio, just like people hold around the television back at least during the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And only through newsreels which you only had to check out when you were at the movies. So you had to go to the movies to check the newsreels, or you had to stay at home and listen to the radio to know what's going on.
And also, it was good to see some of the old reporters that I used to watch when I was a kid.
Yeah, Dan Rather.
Dan Rather, David Brinkley was in there, Robert McNeil,
Yeah, I remember John Chancellor was on there.
John Chancellor, all the greats. They were all reporting on it, and it was quite extensive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now I know that CNN has a lot to desire, because believe me, even though you know, they got the fancy, you know, website, and they do all sorts of stuff on TV now, on the news.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, it was raw news, just people reacting, people talking. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't talking heads. It was more like, you know, everybody was really a part of making that news story.
Yes, yes,
You know?
yes.
I love the idea that they interviewed so many people, and that, by the way, they also followed it, like day 1, day 2, what happened day 3, what happened day 4, and so on.
I mean, they had to because if you thought of all the stuff that was going on, because I mean the killer or alleged killer, or I guess you can probably go ahead and say the killer now, unless we get more newer evidence that Lee Harvey Oswald was the killer, and not only that. 2 days after the assassination, that Sunday, I think maybe a day and a half, like that Saturday evening, he was just putting out of prison. They were going to put him in this armored truck, and then you had this guy named Jack Ruby just come out of nowhere and just shoot the alleged assassins. And like, now we don't even know.
The conspiracy theories blew up after that.
Oh, yeah.
They said that Jack Ruby was somehow connected, that he didn't want him to talk, and that's why he killed him, that he wasn't because he loved the president, and you just never know.
Yeah.
First of all, Kennedy, as I said, was hated.
Mm-hmm.
Even
though he was loved by the public, but he was
loved by
hated
the public. But it was like,
but he had some enemies.
It was kind of like Obama, because at that time he was a Catholic.
Yes.
And nobody, there was no, I don't think there was a Catholic president.
No, he was the first one.
He was the first one.
He was the first one.
And they had such a hatred for Catholics.
Yes.
You know, back then you had the Irish
They called
Republican Army.
they called them papists. Yeah,
all that stuff going on.
Yeah.
That, you know, Kennedy wasn't that kumbaya guy that everybody thinks about. People did hate him. And also, there was a lot of scores that needed to be settled as far as some of these people are concerned.
Oh, yeah, by the way, good
when
morning,
he became
Three Bears.
president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Three Bears is on.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm just saying, I think that there was a conspiracy, but that's never going to be. It's 50 years now have gone by.
And pretty much 99% of the people, who weren't the reporters or who were involved in or allegedly suspects are pretty much dead now.
Yeah, and Earl
Not saying that it's not important, but, you know.
Well, Earl Warren, and then they had the Russell guy, right?
Richard Russell, who was the senator of Georgia.
Of Georgia, who was a segregationist. He hated everybody, that son of a bitch. Go figure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that he was in, he must have been one of the ones that wanted LBJ to be president. And
because Kennedy was pro-civil rights.
Of course. Mm-hmm. And LBJ was from the South. It didn't matter whether they agreed.
And they kind of thought that he was more like a sellout, I guess, because since he was, even though he was a Democrat and was Kennedy's vice president, they considered, but because he was a Southerner, he should be supposed to go by the good old boy network, so to speak.
Good old boys. And by the way, next week.
Next Friday, week from
Next
today,
Friday,
will be
week
the
from
50
today will be 50 years. 50 years already.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Was intriguing about this, Irving, was that I did not even know that LBJ basically started the Warren Commission simply just because of word of the conspiracy. Now that was new to me. I didn't think he was that directly connected to it, or at least to the commission, until they said, LBJ is from Texas, and JFK did get killed in Texas, and as soon as he got killed, they got him, the dead President Kennedy, Jackie, and LBJ all on that same plane all the way to Washington D.C. Just basically got in and got out, said the oath of office, and bam, didn't even lose a step.
Yeah, done deal. Other thing is, you have to remember during that time, there was a lot of people that wanted LBJ to be president when he. That was the reason why Kennedy chose him as a vice president, to calm some of the heat that was going on in the South.
I see.
That did not pick a Southern guy. Yeah. Super Mexican. Yes, that's what I am. Navajo Irv. I like that.
Yeah. And plus, you got to remember you
People are
had
coming in and out this morning.
you had
What's
these
going on?
southern plus you had these southern Democrats who really didn't like Kennedy in the first place, and that's why I think that's probably why they had to have this meeting in Texas for them to start the stuff. So to squash the bickering and stuff,
Yeah.
because people seem to forget. It's probably like trivial now, but back then, at November '63, it basically was just he had less than a year to get ready to run to be reelected president, because they had a presidential election in '64.
Yeah.
So he had to squash the bickering between the regular Democrats up north and the Dixiecrats, the Southern Democrats,
Well-
which they had in Texas, to get them unified so we won't be kicked out of office.
Well, the other thing was that LBJ did, which they mentioned in this documentary, great documentary, folks. You CNN likes to repeat a lot of shit. I would watch it, even if it's repeated. Really, you could always learn more out of it. But one of the things that Lyndon Johnson had to contemplate was, how am I going to get a very fair and just investigation going?
Mm-hmm.
So he picked out Warren, the Chief Justice
Mm-hmm.
of the United States, and he picked out that redneck Russell from Georgia.
Yeah, and also not to mention, which I didn't even knew he was anything about it, but Gerald Ford, when he was a congressman.
That came later. That's what I'm saying is the point I'm trying to make is what Lyndon Johnson had to contemplate was, how am I going to get a fair and just investigation that the people will be happy with? So he picked out the two extreme guys. He picked out Earl Warren, who was the Chief Justice,
Mm-hmm.
who was kind of a pro-Kennedy guy. He liked Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Russell, who hated Kennedy. And he said, if these two people could agree on anything, then I think we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Now, did that in the final analysis really work? It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Good morning, Saibuki is on.
Mm-hmm.
And what else? Oh,
How you doing? Yeah.
Let's say hello to everybody, Derek.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hello Ashton34. How you doing? Sabuki, Good Time Radio. Michelle Stacy, thank you for the comment with the Huxtable sweater vest. Good morning, my nuts itch too much. Urak Wildcat, Muhammad Hussein, how you do? Scott Anthony 823, smell my finger. 3 Bears, good morning to you. And Zappa 1. Thank you.
Anyway, Muhammad says there were 3 shooters, not just one. Of course, they covered up the assassination. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure if you were alive at that time, you would have been the genius to uncover that. But
Possibly.
you weren't around.
Well, it's 8:17. In case you didn't get the time, it's 8:17 right now in Macon, Georgia. It's 44 degrees outside and cloudy. There will be some scattered showers, I think, sometime later this afternoon, with a high of 64, but a low of 50 degrees. So even though it's not sunny and cloudy, it's going to be wet. At least it's going to be somewhat warmer than it was the past 2 days.
Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Ed, I don't know if you have the picture up, if you want to blow that up. Tonight, we're going to be getting together at the Douglas Theater.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be broadcasting live from the Douglas Theater at 8 o'clock. Hope you guys will tune in. It should be... It should be a wing dang ding ding ding.
A wing dang ding.
Exactly.
Don't get me going there.
Yeah. So that should be exciting. You guys can watch. We're gonna really focus the camera on some of the music. They're gonna be playing music. There'll be some acts, I guess, going on, and we're gonna be interviewing some of the people there. This is for, by the way, breast cancer awareness, or breast cancer something.
Mm-hmm.
Save the Tatas.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be at
8
the Douglas
o'clock.
Theater.
8 o'clock tonight. There it is, the Masquerade Ball. It's an annual breast cancer awareness masquerade ball.
And the date's wrong,
An
too.
evening of elegance.
Oh, it is changed.
No, he did change it. Oh, that's
My
good.
man's wrong.
Yeah, not bad, Ed. There it is. That's a flyer. And that should be a lot of fun. If you want to stop by, yes, you can wear a costume or you can come. It's a red tie or black tie, whatever they call it, affair.
Mm-hmm.
I, of course, don't have a black tie, so I'll be wearing whatever tie.
Yeah.
But it should be a lot of fun. We're going to try it out. I hope that it'll give us some publicity for our show locally, but at the same time, it's for a good cause.
And Anthony will be wearing pink too.
Yeah, so that should be fun. That is tonight at 8 o'clock local time. That would be whatever time for the rest of you. Figure it out.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern time. For some of you, it may be late in the day or early in the morning. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe for you, Saibuki. But Saibuki's here. We're
Well,
just
probably
talking
2
about,
actually be 2 in the morning over at his time. Saturday. It'll be already Saturday morning for him.
Happy anniversary, Saibuki.
Oh yes, by the way, yes. Happy anniversary to you, Sabuki.
Oh, what? How many?
It was his anniversary, 15 years.
Oh, yeah. Happy anniversary.
And he's
son.
still alive.
Happy anniversary to what? Is his marriage anniversary?
Yeah, his marriage anniversary.
No, coming out of the closet.
There you go. Yeah, well. Anyway, Saibuki put some shit up on his Facebook page. It's funny as hell. Oh, always done something.
Yes,
Anyway,
indeed.
still alive and happy. There you go. Absolutely.
Yes.
Anyway, I got some good news, but I don't see DS Photo Guy on yet.
Well, maybe we'll probably put it in maybe a
Yeah,
little bit
let's
later.
put it on hold until he gets on.
Yeah.
We got some breaking news that we're
yes.
going to bring out.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta wait till DS Photo Guy gets on because he needs to enjoy this as well. I'm sure he knows already.
Yeah, he
Well,
does.
knows,
I
yes, he
posted
does.
it.
Okay.
He knows
Yes.
all about it.
Yes. Speaking of, we have an update on the McDaniel murder case, the alleged murder of Laura Gettings. Says that Bibb County Superior Court Judge Howard Sims will preside over Stephen McDaniel's upcoming murder trial.
There he is. Diaz is here. So Diaz, I'm
Okay.
glad you're on. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Okay.
We're gonna be talking in a minute all about animals.
Yes.
Go ahead.
As I said, Bibb County Superior Court Judge Howard Sims will preside over the Stephen McDaniel's upcoming murder trial. Judge J. Phillip Brown, who was handling the high-profile case, has announced that he's going to retire at the end of this year. Sims' assignment to the case was noted in a earlier week court filing. Jury selection in McDaniel's trial is set to begin next year on January 6th, but that could be pushed back because the judge changed. Judge Brown had said earlier this week that he would preside over pretrial motion hearings in the case scheduled for next week, but word yesterday that arose that those proceedings will be postponed and heard by Sims. Now, Stephen McDaniel, who's 28 years old, is accused of the June 2011 dismemberment slaying of 27-year-old law student Laura Gettings, his Mercer University Law School classmate and next-door neighbor. Brown's departure comes 20 months, almost 2 years after McDaniel's defense team all but accused prosecutors of judge shopping or trying to get the case taken away from Brown. Now, prosecutors were then seeking the death penalty for McDaniel, but they have since taken a capital punishment off the table as a possible sentence if the Lilburn native is convicted. And one of McDaniel's attorneys, Frank J. Hodge, spoke highly of Brown and Sims. Basically, he knew them as lawyers way back in the day, many decades. He described them as both men as judges that I believe will give a defendant a fair trial. So as we know, Judge Sims is going to take over, and the hearings won't start until January 6th of next year. So they're really prolonging it.
Here's the thing. I know that we've spoken on Judge Sims. He was of course, the judge that was
Caught DUI.
DUI twice, and both times given a slap on the wrist. But here's what I think, though. I mean, I was hoping that this McDaniel case would have been at least further down the line than it has been. How many years has it been now?
It's been 2 years since June 2011 since
2
the
years.
murder.
All right. It's maybe not a long time.
Almost 2.5.
They keep putting in postponements and shit because
Right.
Yeah.
they're milking it out.
About 2.5 years.
Because if they take it to trial and they don't have enough evidence and he walks scot-free, they want to make sure they can nail his ass.
Yeah.
If
Well,
he doesn't get nailed in jail.
one thing I will say though, I think I'm kind of like hoping, and I believe that he's going to do a good job because he knows his own history, and he's going to want to do this right. If not, God help him. So in a sense, I feel like I'm kind of glad that it's going to be him, because it may just prove one thing, that we'll finally get resolution and closure on this whole nonsense with McDaniel and get him behind bars for good. I think that Judge Sims can do it. I mean, he does love what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And, for all intents and purposes, everybody that knows him says he's a fair judge.
He's a fair judge. He's a thorough judge. I mean, granted he has been in recent news. I mean, the year before due to his alcoholism, but still.
It's not like Herb, pizza guy.
Anyway, so let me see.
And Herb rubs off on everybody.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's a little bit of Herb in all of us.
There's a little bit in all of us. All right, so Scott Anthony said Judge Sims is a good dude. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe you know him. Maybe you were in front of him. I left you off the hook. I don't know. But
Maybe
yeah, he seems like an okay judge.
Yeah, he's an okay judge. I mean, granted, I got sent home early from when I was on jury duty last year, so I can't.
Yeah, I mean, and he loves what he does. I mean, despite the fact that everybody knows there was a double standard, everybody knows that he got off the hook, everybody knows that he's a drunk. But look what's happening with this Canadian mayor. People are fighting for that guy.
Yeah.
They're saying, leave him alone. We love him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's done a lot for Toronto.
Yes, but
He's
don't
even
you know?
kept the crack dealers making money.
Yeah. But you ever heard about this man that he's also going to be? He and his brother are going to have a reality show. You heard about that?
Oh my God! Do you have that story? Oh Lord, yes.
Not with me, but
him and his brother are gonna have a reality show. That should be a hit, and he's gonna make more money than Kardashian.
Oh my goodness! But the thing is, we want to see some ranting, raving fat guy. Oh, I'm sorry, the honeymooners. But see, Jackie Gleason was not on crack though, and I'm still trying to figure out what type of is he on? Is he on that low sodium, fat free crack? Because I don't see no many fat folks on crack. I mean, he should, if he is smoking, he should be looking like Flavor Flav or something.
Yeah,
like
a white version of it.
Yeah, white version of Flavor Flav. I mean, nobody.
Speaking of crack, they cracked the case, yo, folks. Guess what?
All right.
A woman was arrested on the All About Animals disaster or
cruelty to animals and all about animals. Yes.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, rather. Ed broke the news to me last night. He said, "Herb, they caught the person."
Man.
Yeah. But Macon police arrested a woman for involvement in All About Animals case. DS works with All About Animals. He's one of their main spokesmen.
There's a mugshot.
And police arrested 36-year-old Crystal Gail Fessler. And the wench is behind bars.
But her actual address is the Salvation Army here, right down the road here.
Anyway, Crystal Gail Fessler was charged with 1 count of criminal trespassing and 13 counts of cruelty to animals. Police say the 36-year-old Fessler, they had many tips. They received numerous tips about the animal break-in. The incident happened on October 17th. You guys were all here when we posted this and we talked about it. DS was affected by it. DS Photo guy who's here with us today. He's, like I said, is an all about animals and an animal rescue volunteer.
I can't believe she's 36. It's like, sheesh.
Matt.
Someone released all the dogs in their cages. 3 dogs were killed and several others were injured. And the dogs fought each other. Anyway, with more information, they're still going to look for others. I don't think she did it alone, to be honest.
Well, of course, like I said, you can't be on meth. You can't be on meth or any type of drug and
Well,
just systematically just open some stuff.
$18,000 reward. Somebody spilled the beans on her.
Oh yes, somebody's definitely $18,000 richer. But
by the way,
congratulations.
Diaz, did she ever volunteer for All About Animals? Because she sounds like someone who would, Crystal Gale Fetchler. I got a lot of these people, animal rescue people, on my Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And half the time I can't even remember because all the names start to ramble together. They all sound like Lynn and Crystal and Cheryl and
yeah.
I got an
Name's
update
Crystal.
real quick. The guy we showed yesterday, the porn guy that they're looking for. Okay, they think they know where he is, so they want everybody to stop posting his picture. They don't want anything in the media. I guess they gotta know where he is, but they
who
don't
are we
want
talking about?
the guy who was in the porn videos with the kids.
Yeah, kitty porn.
So don't post any stuff on that guy. That's what the news
Okay.
said. They want
Yeah, that's right. That is some good news. So many times they are never caught.
That's true.
I did want to mention, I had given a call to Sheriff Davis soon after this happened. And the sheriff called me back the next day, actually. And we talked about this animal break-in. And I told him, I said, look, I'm really concerned that this may happen again. And then, of course, he told me, no, they're going to have security and this and that. And I asked him, Sheriff, we've got to find this person. This is about as cruel as it gets. And he agreed. And I'm not saying that conversation helped to spur this on. I think they were doing it anyway. They were going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
But I just wanted Diaz to know that I brought it right to the sheriff. And we spoke on the phone for about an hour about other stuff. But we did talk extensively about All About Animals. So I'm glad. And I give this credit to the sheriff, even though it was maybe the Macon Police Department. But I give the credit to the sheriff because this was, for all reality, this was pretty quick.
Yes.
Compared to some of the crap that goes on here and that people get away with.
Mm-hmm. That's very
So
true.
I'm glad they caught him. Congratulations to the Macon Police Department, who deserve our respect.
Yes.
And of course the Sheriff David Davis. God bless him. I know that he was on this from day one. So.
Yes.
All good.
Herb for mayor of Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Muhammad is kind of surprised I said that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Security doesn't always work. They did get a lot of security going. From what I hear, they had a lot of donations given to them to secure the place. But that's after the fact. 3 animals died. Many others hurt. A lot of people's emotions were shot through, shot down to hell or through the roof.
Yeah.
Either way, depends. But and I hope Diaz that at least it brings you some solace to know finally who did this absolute atrocious, cruel act against poor innocent little animals.
Absolutely.
Here in Macon Place. There you go.
Speaking of some animals, also have some other animal-related news. There were dozens of animals that were mysteriously vanished from a Virginia farm yesterday. It says more than 30 animals have disappeared from the Hanover Vegetable Farm on Ashland Road in Richmond, Virginia, and workers suspect it was a well-orchestrated overnight theft, just like what happened over in All About Animals last month. An officer with the Hanover County Sheriff's Office was there for hours investigating the mystery. It says chickens, ducks, rabbits, turkeys, and a peacock, as well as bagged animal food, went missing from the farm, which is frequented by animal lovers and children. Producers sold at a stand-on site. And according to Hunter Sears, who worked at the family farm alongside his father, he says it was definitely not a one-man job.
E-I-E-I-O.
Yes, adding to the
Wow.
mystery, yeah. Adding to the mystery is that larger, more valuable animals were left behind, including a massive hog, goats, and calves.
Wow.
That's a lot of.
Well, I don't know. Maybe old McDonald was around.
Oh, McDonald.
He wanted to have his farm again.
Yeah.
Noah.
Somebody wants to start a farm.
Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
Oh well. Well, that's terrible. I hope they find them.
Yeah, me too.
You know, you do have people that love to hoard animals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially exotic animals. I mean, okay, some of them were obviously farm animals, but who owns a peacock? You know, I mean, besides NBC, but you know,
Yeah, Michael Jackson's dead. He would have owned one.
possibly. Yeah, he owned a chimp, so yeah, he probably would own a peacock. Yeah.
Not a problem there, Diaz. Hopefully you'll be clear from here on in. Good morning, Sergio.
Mm-hmm.
Sergio St. James is on, and good to see you, buddy. Derek, have you ever seen a peacock in real life? I have.
Maybe once when I went to
Bronx Zoo.
maybe during the Zoo Atlanta when I was in.
They
Cuba.
are absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Unreal. They don't look real. They walk around, their fan is open, and yeah, they're beautiful. Beautiful animals.
Mm-hmm.
The real question is, how does one hide a peacock? They screech. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh, they're
Really
in the
interesting.
States then? Well,
No.
yeah, but only in the news. Only in the zoos I actually can see them.
I got some good news. This is a friend of mine, friend of ours, Anthony and myself. I think maybe even you, Derek.
Okay.
There's a new record store that opened up in downtown Macon, Georgia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's down on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. The music selection isn't limited to just classics. Not only does the store offer new and used vinyl, but also independent records from local and international artists. Owner William Dantzler. His mother is Mama D.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Mama D is, but she was a big teacher downtown. Her brother, also from New York, actually. Good friends of ours. As far as the people living and shopping and being able to walk around downtown and enjoying everything it has to offer, I think we are moving towards that. William Dantzler, owner of Fresh Produce Records. And Dantzler has plans to one day sell local grocery items in the store. So that should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Records and food.
Yeah, get your groove on and your grub on at the same
I guess
time.
we all need music. We all need music and we all need food.
Yes.
So, what the hell? You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else is in the news, Jared? So we got a new record store coming in, making it moves forward.
Yes. There's another story that I found out. This is in Miami by Kurt Anderson. Associated Press says that rescue crews search for an area southeast of Miami after a pilot reported to the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, that a passenger fell out of a small plane into the ocean yesterday. FAA spokeswoman Kathleen Bergen said the call came at 1:30 p.m. Thursday afternoon yesterday from the pilot of a Piper PA-46 aircraft. The plane was flying about 2,000 feet when the call came in, she said. Coast Guard and Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Air and Water units were searching the area about 8 miles southeast of the Tiami Executive Airport, south of Miami, where the plane safely landed. It wasn't immediately clear where the flight originated or how many people were on board. But according to the recording on the website liveatcnet.net, the unidentified pilot calmly radioed "Mayday, Mayday, Mayday," quote unquote, and told that the air traffic controller a door was ajar. It says that this little net provider provides live air traffic control broadcasts from control towers and radio facilities around the world. The Coast Guard had a small boat and helicopter involved in the search, but Petty Officer John Paul Rios said they stopped searching about 7 p.m. when it got too dark. Hopefully they'll find the person later this morning.
All right, there you have it. Thank you, Derek.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, 81-year-old woman killed in a single car accident that happened here in Monroe, which is what? Not right next door, no? Yeah, down Forsyth.
Down Forsyth, yeah.
81-year-old Monroe County woman was killed Thursday evening in a one-car accident on private property. The Monroe Sheriff's Office said Glenn Cunningham was driving a Chevy pickup truck on his property alongside Juliet Road with his wife Peggy as a passenger. The truck went down a steep embankment. The Cunninghams were both transported to the medical center. There we go, medical center again, where Peggy was pronounced dead. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. So they have it. 81 years old. Imagine living that whole life, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, bam.
Yep.
She gone.
Yes. That's sad, man.
So
Really sad.
there you have it. Woman dead at 81 years old in a car accident. What else is in the news, Derek? Bring it up.
Oh yeah, I got some wing dang doodles right now. About nearly 400 children rescued and 348 arrested in a Canadian child pornography bust.
Wow.
It's
Boy,
like this
Canada's really in the news, though.
Yeah, crackhead man, and now this stuff.
Now we got, more craziness. Go
Yes,
ahead.
there's nearly 400 children have been rescued and 348 adults arrested following an expansive and extraordinary international child pornography investigation, Canadian police announced yesterday. The 3-year project, named Project Spade, began when undercover officers with the Toronto Police Service Child Exploitation Service made contact with a Toronto man allegedly sharing very graphic images of child sexual abuse as far back as October 2010. Toronto Police Service Chief William Blair said something about this at a press conference earlier yesterday. Police said that their investigation revealed an entire child movie production and distribution company in Toronto operating via the website asavims.com. The site was run by a 42-year-old Brian Way, according to the police, and sold and distributed images of child exploitation to people across the world. Inspector Joanna Bevan Jardin, head of Toronto's Sex Crimes Unit, said that they enlisted the help of the United States Postal Inspection Service since many of the videos were being exported to the U.S. and began a joint investigation. After a 7-month-long investigation, officers executed search warrants across the city of Toronto, including at the business located at the city's West End.
There you have it. Wow.
Boy, Toronto's definitely been in the news.
Toronto. There we go. Well, right here in Macon, another woman is dead. 87-year-old Eleanor Stranahan. We called to the home at 2094 Alpha Drive here in Macon. Police believe, according to Fire Chief Marvin Riggin, said the bedroom was the source of the fire. And it was a space heater fire.
Wow.
It's been cold here. So what happens, like here, we hit those space heaters, baby. Guess what? You don't put them right, they could burn down your house and kill you.
Yes.
Just like it did this woman. And Chief Ruggan says they ruled out arson. He also said it's unclear whether the home will have working smoke detectors. You got to get your smoke detectors, which, by the way, we don't have. Good thing I have a good nose, but we don't have smoke.
Guess what? When I went to the doctor the other day, they said, well, we have some other questions, so can do this question. One of them was, they asked me if I had a smoke detector in the house. Of course I said,
I think that's something to do with the fire department campaign. They're going to ask everybody and everybody.
I was waiting for her to ask me if I have a gun, too. Well, that was coming next.
No, there you go. They're asking that question is odd. I have to say that is kind of odd. All right, what else, Derek?
Well, yes, I wanted to say there was an Amber Alert for a 17-month-old baby, Guadalupe Aguayo. And got some good news that the missing Atlanta toddler was found safe.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yes.
That's the one where the woman took him? The one I sent you? Or no?
Yes, that's the one. That's the one that you sent me.
I got the picture.
17-month-old Guadalupe has been found safe. Police said that she was found along the downtown connector northbound before I-20, Interstate 20, less than 2 hours after the Amber Alert was issued. She is now safe.
Who is she with? A woman or
Let's see.
falling in the street?
Supposedly, according to the GDOT, the Georgia Department of Transportation, said that all lanes in the area are affected. Atlanta police issued for the alert for Guadalupe around 5:30 a.m. this morning. The Amber Alert said the suspect is Claudia Rodriguez, age 36. Police said that the girl's father, Ramon Aguayo, reported the girl missing late Thursday night. Last night, he said he left Guadalupe with Rodriguez, who is his roommate's girlfriend. But when he returned to the home around 6:30 p.m. yesterday, they were not there. And that's pretty much what has happened. She's now found safe. But I think the woman in question that was pictured is probably Miss Rodriguez, who allegedly kidnapped her.
Wow. There you have it. Oh, by the way, we have a lot of issues with global warming. Another one just happened in July, but is posing a threat right now, and that is a massive iceberg that broke off of Antarctica. A glacier in July is now moving towards the open ocean, and could pose a threat to shipping lanes. The huge berg is estimated to be 270 square miles.
The size
and it's the size of the nation of Singapore, or double the size of the city of Atlanta.
Dang, that is a big...
An iceberg that size could survive for a year or longer, and it could drift a long way north.
We're the only white people here.
All right, finish that.
Yeah,
You're happy now?
No, not yet.
An iceberg this size could survive longer than a year, and they say Marsh is part of a team of scientists who have been given an emergency grant to track the iceberg. They give him money to track this thing. And predict its path so ships traveling through the area can be alerted. That's pretty scary. The calving of massive berg has been a long process. The crack, speaking of crack, that produced, it was first attempted by a NASA plane in 2011. Researchers say this will be the first time to track the path of such a massive iceberg, and something that's important because of global warming increase. So there you have it.
You need to put the pedophiles on
A
there.
gigantic iceberg now posing a threat. There you have it.
There you have it.
I know Ed thinks that's funny, but let's see what happens. Hopefully we won't have any more Titanics going on.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, at least now we have technology and shit like that.
Yeah.
We can spot shit. I mean, they didn't have nothing back then. But by the way, I will say something. I should have grabbed it. There was a watch that was found. I don't know if you saw it from the
A
Titanic. A watch, a pocket watch.
Yeah.
And it showed the time was like 2:32, which is like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes after the guy drowned.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. And that's cool as shit. I mean,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
to die,
Creepy, but still cool. Like, sort
Well,
of.
we know one thing: it wasn't waterproof.
Well, at least
Yeah,
we know what
that's
kind of time it was.
Yes, exactly.
It wasn't a Timex.
Yeah, I know it. Definitely, you took the words right out. It was definitely not a Timex.
Too much says, where's Jacques Cousteau when you need him?
We have a new Jacques Cousteau now.
And Muhammad Hussein said that story leaves me cold. There you
Yes.
there
Wow,
you
we
have it.
got a lot of comedians here today.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we'll be here until 11. And
Yeah,
back again
11
at
tonight.
Don't
tonight.
quit your day job. That's right, we don't have jobs.
Yes. In somewhat other Georgia news, there have been a series of racist Facebook posts sparks GBI's investigation at UGA. Dang,
there we
my
go.
alma mater. Who would have thought? Who would have freaking thought about this stuff right here, man? Crazy stuff. I'm just sitting here because I think that if we can get the video up for it, it'll be really helpful. But I'll just go ahead and preface the story if it's possible. I just sent it to you, Ed. There basically has been. This is from Athens, Georgia. The University of Georgia's president said that the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI, is looking into a series of racist posts that have been made on the Facebook page of a minority student organization. Says the second series of posts in 2 weeks included offensive language and an old photograph of a lynching, no doubt. That's probably what caught the attention of the GBI. Says a criminal investigation is underway by the UGA police and the GBI, said UGA President Jerry Moorhead in a written statement. He adds that we hope and expect that anyone responsible will be identified and held accountable for their actions. Moorhead also believes that the Facebook page of UGA's Black Affairs Council was, quote-unquote, targeted by criminal acts of identity theft by perpetrators who have used those false identities to post hateful speech. Says the most recent series of posts sparked a silent student protest outside Moorhead's office on campus yesterday afternoon at UGA.
Wow. That's it?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
This is what I'm talking about, folks. You got to watch those Facebook posts. I mean, everything is about Facebook now.
Mm-hmm.
People getting sued. People are getting in trouble because of it.
Obviously, this is really huge news because it said there was a similar racial post from a week earlier sparked a student march across Sanford Stadium Bridge. Those who don't know, the bridge there's a bridge that separates Sanford Stadium, where the Georgia Bulldogs play, from the Tate Student Center, where tens of thousands of people go there to go to the Student Center, and also eventually during Saturdays. Imagine if that would have happened during the weekend, if they had a play at home,
a bigger crowd,
a much bigger crowd. Plus, not to mention 90,000 students that fill up that Sanford Stadium. That you're talking about a huge protest.
Well, a lot of craziness going on. You know, you get a lot of big crowds in libraries. I know when I was up in Lilburn, that was like the town square. You saw everybody at the library.
Yes.
Well, just imagine them building a brand new library, and 2 weeks after its opening, they are closing it.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Exactly. Wow. You talk about Twiggs County being a little backwards here. That's exactly what's happening. Twiggs County Public Library may be closing its doors just 2 weeks after its grand opening. Twiggs County Library staff is on pins and needles, wondering if they have to hop in the unemployment line. Bill Humphrey runs the library and says the library's board set money aside but never planned on losing funding. I have to admit we never anticipated the county commission just entirely stopping the funding. We're keeping enough back to pay the water bill and a few other incidentals because we feel like eventually we'll be open, or at least hope that it will stay open. But the moment we simply don't have enough to pay the bills, there you go. He says it'll cost about $48,000 to keep the library doors open. The county doesn't have to pay money to throw away. It doesn't have to pay money to be extravagant. But I think we've got enough money. We can find enough money to operate the library. So there you have it. This is ridiculous, don't you think?
Yeah, it's very ridiculous. I mean, you're just going to open it up and then close it? Something.
Do you ever think libraries would go like the way of Blockbuster, kind of like outdated? People are using Facebook.
Well, yeah, Facebook. Yeah, people are able to Google information with iPads stuff through their own phones. As a matter of fact, they really don't even have to go to the library anymore. Yeah. But I will say this though, with the way that not just the economy, but with our educational system is nowadays. You really can't afford to close them, even though many of them have been obsolete, though. But you really can't close them just yet, simply for the fact that we still need them. We still really, really need them.
I mean, it's a great place to go and get away from everybody.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, granted, we have technology, but what happens when like there's a electricity shortage or something like that?
We have a power outage.
Or power outage, yeah. I mean, how are you going to get information? You have to go through the old school way, through books, through printed material.
Not too much. What's a library? Muhammad Hussein, the show is getting a little slow. Maybe you could do a rain dance. No, actually, we're covering a lot of serious stories as we warm up. It is Flippin' Friday. We can flip on you, so you never know.
Yeah, Scott Anthony, I definitely agree with
Stick
you.
around.
I definitely agree with you. No question about it. We definitely need libraries and to use the tax money to support. Yeah, that is very true. I mean, that's probably why they have internet access or Wi-Fi in libraries, so people will be able to still use it to look for information as well as go through printed material to find information. You know, still go old school just in case you have options. You see.
All right,
Have options.
Warner Robins just did a major remodeling of its library.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I used to work at the library when I was in college. I used to work at the UGA Main Library when I was a student there. You know, hey,
Yeah.
really
Anyway, there you go. Open up a library, and 2 weeks later they close it. Is insane.
good. Mm-hmm.
Insane. Let me see what else is in the news. Jared, bring it up.
Yes. Well, you know, earlier this morning, earlier in the show, we talked about about the CNN documentary about the JFK assassination. We do have some good news, at least Kennedy based, I guess you might say. It is Kennedy oriented, Kennedy related. JFK's daughter, Caroline Kennedy, takes public office in Japan 50 years after her father's death. Caroline Kennedy, this is from Tokyo. Caroline Kennedy, daughter of the slain president, U.S. President John F. Kennedy, arrived in Japan on Friday this morning to take up her first high-profile job in public office, making a late start to a political career for which her family is now famous for. Kennedy, Mrs. Kennedy, sworn in as U.S. ambassador 2 days ago, received a warm welcome at Tokyo's Narita Airport, smiling and waving at reporters and carrying a bouquet of flowers. The 55-year-old lawyer takes up the post a week before the 50th anniversary of her father's assassination. Ms. Caroline Kennedy is the first female U.S. ambassador to Japan and was an early and prominent supporter of Barack Obama in his initial quest for the presidency in 2008 and also campaigned for it.
All right, there you go. She's now ambassador to
Of Japan.
Japan.
Which is kind of ironic because Tokyo, Japan hosted the Summer Olympic Games in 1964, a year after JFK's assassination.
All right. Well, speaking of
A full
JFK,
circle.
there here are 5 things that you did not know about JFK's assassination. You see, you're never too old to learn. 50 years later, we're still coming out with you did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 1. Well, let's first preface the story. This month marks 50 years of the assassination, and you probably know that Lee Harvey Oswald killed the president, and only to be fatally gunned down by Jack Ruby. And actually, his name is like Rubenstein or something.
Yeah, he was shorted, you know.
You probably know there were hundreds of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Who was behind the assassination, where Oswald was the lone gunman, and the infamous grassy knoll, of course. And but here are some of the things that you may not know. Mm-hmm. Did you know that Oswald was not arrested in the JFK killing? Lee Harvey Oswald was actually arrested for fatally shooting a police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Patrolman J.D. Tippit.
Mm-hmm.
45 minutes after the killing Kennedy. He denied killing either one, and as he was being transferred to the county jail 2 days later, he was shot and killed by nightclub operator Jack Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Second, so he wasn't actually arrested for Kennedy; he was arrested for the cop, and then they were gonna indict him on Kennedy, but they never got to.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Number 2, assassinating the president wasn't a federal crime.
In 1963.
Yeah, despite the assassinations on 3 U.S. presidents, Abraham Lincoln, James Garfield, and William McKinley, killing or attempting to harm a president wasn't a federal offense until 1965, 2 years after Kennedy's death. So, isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Wasn't even a federal case at that time. Number 3, TV networks suspended shows for 4 days.
Wow.
So Leave It to Beaver and all these other things, were not being shown.
Andy Griffith, all them shows.
In November 22nd, just 10 minutes after the president was shot, CBS broadcast the first nationwide TV bulletin. After that, all three television networks, CBS, NBC, ABC, interrupted their regular programming to cover the assassination for 4 straight days. The JFK assassination was the longest uninterrupted news event on television until the coverage of the September 11 attacks in 2001.
Wow.
Number 4, it led to the first and only time a woman has sworn in a U.S. president.
Yes.
Hours after the assassination, Vice President Lyndon Johnson was sworn in as president in Air Force One with Jacqueline Kennedy at his side, and federal judge Sarah Hughes administered the oath, the only woman ever to do so. And finally, the fifth thing that you didn't know about the Kennedy assassination was that Oswald had tried to assassinate Kennedy's foe, whatever that is.
His enemy.
8 months before Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated JFK, he tried to kill an outspoken anti-communist, former U.S. Army General Edwin Walker. After his resignation from the U.S. Army in 1961, Walker became an outspoken critic of the Kennedy administration and actively opposed the move to racially segregate schools in the South. The Warren Commission, charged with investigating Kennedy's assassination, found that Oswald had tried to shoot and kill Walker while the retired general was inside his home. Walker sustained minor injuries from bullet fragments. There you have it. 5 things you did not know.
Yes.
Boy, that's good timing.
Very good timing. Before we close, I want to see this. When I was talking about Caroline Kennedy being the new U.S. ambassador to Japan, and in Tokyo was the host of the Summer Olympic Games, I think another reason is JFK was planning to a state visit to Japan back in January 1964, but unfortunately JFK was planned to visit Japan in 1964, January of 64, but unfortunately he couldn't.
Well, he had to send his daughter to Japan.
Yeah.
Okay. There you have it. We'll be back.
You ever been to a Mercer game?
No, not yet. Hopefully,
Have you
maybe
seen the stadium?
Yes, I've seen the stadium.
This is a time lapse of the stadium.
Okay.
Oh, great.
It's cool shot.
All right. Well, stick around.
There you have it.
There you have it, man.
How about that?
Could you imagine?
Rob Ford.
Yes, Rob.
You like my video boy, you like that?
Yes, I love
think
it.
you'd enjoy that.
Wow, that was a masterpiece, man. I'm just
No buts about it either.
definitely no buts about
Well,
it.
it certainly is a story, but I think the biggest story that's not being said much is the fact that the people of Toronto love this guy.
Mm-hmm.
They say he's a good mayor. He's made Toronto, a better place to be, I guess.
I guess sort of.
I mean, like I said, even the crack addicts make money there.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, I don't know. They also say Canadians are very forgiving people. I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm just saying, I could just see this. I could see Saturday Night Live. Don't take my idea, but I could just see them like doing, "Hey, you're cooking with Tom Ford. Yeah, how you doing? Hey, I'm just making some cracked chicken cacciatore here. I'm smoking some crack. I'm smoking some ham here. Smoking some turkey. Smoking some chicken right here, just in time for Thanksgiving, and smoking some hams too. Come on down and get down with Rob Ford right here. I'm smoking all of them with you."
Yeah, better food than Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Oh, look who's here.
But do
Boogity
they
boogity.
celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada?
Yeah, they
Speaking
do.
of crack, Anthony's on. Anyway.
Yeah,
Welcome, Anthony.
we're cooking with Tom Ford, Rob Ford, the mayor of Toronto, and
Yeah.
smoking turkeys and hams and crack pipes. So.
Okay, not a problem, man, but you're here with us now. Hello. Okay, not a problem, man. You can't come. I guess you're not going to come tonight either. But, whatever. What can I say? Go figure. Not the first time I've been disappointed.
Okay.
Anyway, what else, Derek, is in the news? Bring some.
Well, yes, as I said, said earlier, Caroline Kennedy takes public office. She's become, she was appointed the first female ambassador to Japan by the United States. Her, 50 years after her dad, the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated 50 years ago this month, and also, which was kind of rare, that it's kind of coincidental if you think about it, that there was a state visit planned for January 1964. Basically, then Secretary of State Dean Rusk was on an air route to Tokyo for talks when Kennedy was getting ready to plan to go to Japan back in January 1964 as a way to expand his international affairs, international allies and stuff. But unfortunately, he was assassinated in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963, 50 years ago. And as you know, back later in 1964, Tokyo, Japan, was the host of the Summer Olympic Games.
Well, whoop-de-doo. All right, here we go. By the way, Mike Ford, local Newtown, Macon president.
No relation to Toronto's Ford.
No relation
Anthony,
to Toronto's Ford.
there you go, man. They need to do blood. Go for it.
Well, guess what? Newtown Macon has announced today that its CEO, Mike Ford, by the way, he's a good guy. I like Mike Ford. And he will leave the organization in March 31st, 2012, or sooner if the group's leaders can find a replacement. And according to a news release from the group, Ford told Newtown's board of directors he was resigning as a meeting last night. He said, "I'm very fortunate to have spent the last 11 years working alongside the staff and board of Newtown Macon. They are truly the heart and soul of this organization. I know I am leaving Newtown in capable hands. We are already 1 year into our third revitalization campaign and seeing unprecedented investment in downtown Macon. In 2002, Mike Ford started as a volunteer in Newtown Macon, and he was named CEO shortly thereafter." So, thank you, Mike Ford, for being a part of what I believe is the true revitalization of downtown Macon.
Very
now,
good.
a lot of people could say a lot of things, but I will say this. Newtown Macon has been involved in just about every decision of the downtown revitalization projects. Plus, they were the ones that helped get the grants and the funding to new, young, up-and-coming entrepreneur business owners, although it's hard to keep businesses in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of openings and closings, kind of like that school, that library in Twix County. 2 weeks after the grand opening, they closed the doors. But we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be that young lady, Chris, what's her name? Hadaway.
Chris Hadaway, yes.
Yeah, I think she's going to be the president.
Yeah,
I have a feeling. She's always everywhere. She's around.
She's
Plus,
very
she's
representative.
pretty.
Yeah,
compared
you
to Mike.
took words right out of my mouth, Irv. Yes, she's very pretty.
Anyway, they could not afford the Ford. Yeah, Hadaway. Thank you, Anthony.
Chris Hadaway.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be her. For whatever reason, I believe it. Not only that, it also brings a woman to the table.
Mm-hmm.
There's many reasons. Plus, she's been around there through thick and thin. She's been the one involved, really, getting everybody together more than Mike has.
Yes, that's very true. Very true. Matter of fact, she was the first person that actually ran into at Newtown Macon when back 2 years ago when I had a book reading for Mr. Cliff Chandler's audiobook
I
version
remember that. I was there.
Of the Paragons. Loved it. It was a very good turnout.
Yeah, it was. I assume that you already talked about the bitch that broke into the shelter. Yes, we did.
Yes, we have.
I like the way you put that, the bitch. Yeah.
And definitely appropriate too, because I don't think no one will actually disagree with calling her that. I'm sure.
Would you believe that, Anthony? and let me just say this, ATT and Anthony. I really did not ever imagine, I hate to say this, I never imagined it was going to be a white woman. I really, go talk about profiling.
Yeah.
I really thought it was a bunch of black kids.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. Yeah. I really thought.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought that that's what it was going to be. But I guess I could be wrong. You're right. You either. I never thought in my wildest dreams that it would be, number one, it would be a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, that it would be a white woman.
Yeah. I mean...
And you wonder, why did she do it? I want to hear, because the stories are very brief. They said they arrested her. She got a $9,100 bond. And hopefully, I'd like to know now, besides the fact that they already caught her and everything else, and they're probably looking for other people involved in this. I'd like to know who gets that $18,000.
That's definitely a good question.
That's really what I want to know. Yeah, but they say that they don't think that she was alone. I know, she couldn't have been. There's no way. She doesn't even look like she can climb a fence.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it had to have been a group thing, because if you're on meth, you're not going to be, that tactical in one, not only climbing a fence, but also unleashing some dogs out of cages. I mean, it had to be somewhat planned. It had to have been somebody casing the joint, find out what time and place to actually sneak in there where there's going to be less traffic around in that particular area, like how many X amount of police cars and whatnot, or any other type of cars are going to be driving at that time.
Anthony, let me say this.
Mm-hmm.
They say that they don't think that she was alone. If you remember, we talked about this. Was she one of those animal activists? Was the question that Anthony raised and we have raised, whether, in fact, it was that PETA organization. We talked about that a little bit, and I'm just wondering if this woman has any connection to PETA. And what animal rights activists would do such a thing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's insane.
That's like
yeah, I know PETA didn't do it. I said that, DS. What I'm saying is that was she an animal rights activist, irregardless, or was she somebody that? What was she trying to prove by doing this? Is the question.
Oh man,
yeah, she looked like a crack activist.
Cracktivist, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. You're working. You're doing better on your timing, and you're doing better. Yeah. You're getting there.
By the way, Anthony, Brian is on. Welcome back, Brian.
Yes.
Let's go down the pike and say hello to everybody. We got Ashley34, ATT, Brian is on, Saibuki, DS Photo Guy, Michelle Stacy, my nuts itch. Go ahead, Derek.
Yes. Also, T.L. Wilson, thanks for stopping by. Wartown, Uric Wildcat, Hank Hill, I'll tell you what. Janet Reno, Muhammad Hussein, Smell My Fingers, Smurf, Snickers 292, Tower of London, Watchdog 1, and Zappa 1.
Yeah, welcome all. Welcome all. Welcome all.
Yes, I got some, in other news, I got something from Cobb County. It doesn't have anything to do with the Braves.
All right.
There was one person dead in a fiery multi-car crash located in Cobb County, Georgia. Says Cobb County Police are urging drivers to stay off the northbound lanes of Interstate 75 near Wade Green Road after a fiery wreck killed at least one person and injured several others. Several roads, I guess, are still blocked. The crash happened around 2:30 p.m. yesterday afternoon when police said that traffic was slowing due to a lane closure near the Cherokee County border when the collision happened. At least 7 vehicles were involved, including a tractor trailer. One person was confirmed dead and 2 others were airlifted to a local hospital. Officials do not know when these lanes will reopen again, maybe sometime later today.
Wow. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it. By the way, you ever fall out of an airplane, Derek? I guess
no,
not.
I don't plan to.
Imagine in Florida, passenger falls out of an airplane. What's the problem?
We covered that already.
No, you didn't. When did he cover that?
Didn't you say that with the...
No.
When he
Let's
opened the
bring
door,
it up.
the door was ajar?
Oh, yes.
I hate this. I hate when, why let it go? Let's just do it.
In case you didn't get the news
Earlier.
Was it today?
Yeah, he covered
Yeah,
it
we're
about
talking in the first
just
hour.
before break.
In case you missed the first hour of our show.
He's not looking at girls. He's looking at something.
Maybe that's what it was. I was all caught up.
You gotta
All right, so
oh,
then
it's Anthony.
bring up another story, Derek.
Okay, well, I do have something, at least something pet related. Hopefully, Diaz will probably appreciate. It says dog owners question the link between meds and deaths. This is from Atlanta, from WSB, the ABC affiliate to Atlanta, Georgia. It says grieving animal lovers across the country are coming forward blaming a popular pet drug for killing their dogs. Mm-hmm. And Action News Channel 2 WSB has uncovered several cases in Metro Atlanta, by the way. Basically, dog owner Beth Timms from Gainesville says it's like a piece of your heart being torn out. Her Mrs. Timms' dog, her dog Gizmo, died after taking Trifexis, a once-a-month pill made by Elanco. Is a combination pill for heartworm, parasites, and flea prevention. Now, Elanco is the animal health division of the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly. Gizmo was a healthy 12-year-old mixed breed dog. Shortly after taking Trifexis for the first time, she suffered lethargy, vertigo, and seizures, and a 100-degree temperature. And basically, it was so the symptoms were so terrible that they had to let her she had to be put to sleep. And Ms. Timms emailed consumer investigator Jim Strickland after finding a Facebook page titled "Trifexis Kills Dogs." Owners from all over the country have posted on that page blaming the drug for their dogs' deaths. And the Facebook page led Strickland to a home in Sandy Springs where a dog bowl still sits empty in the corner. The dog who once used it was a puppy named Bishop. And Bishop was a 16-week-old Vizsla puppy, which is a Hungarian hunting dog. He was one of 7 in a litter born in June of this year from an American Kennel Club Grand Champion. 3 of Bishop's litter mates are thriving in Florida. A 4th is a healthy puppy living in Buckhead, but none of them has ever had Trifexis other than Bishop. Bishop and the 2 other litter mates named Tucker and Jade also each received one and only dose of Trifexis in September, but Bishop and Jade died within 3 weeks. Tucker died in 6 days. And veterans ruled that they all died of heart inflammation. Now, if those who want to know about Elanco, it's headquartered outside of Indianapolis. So if anyone wants to know about this, basically just
go to Indianapolis.
Yeah, go to check the Facebook page about Trifexis Kills Dogs. Yeah, just want to let you know about that. Those who are dog lovers, of course. Yeah. About to see if there's a link between this drug and the deaths of these dogs.
All right, there you have it. In national news, we have Obama now canceling his plan on some of the bylaws of the Affordable Care Act. And Obama said Thursday that insurance companies can allow Americans to keep canceled insurance policies for another year. And as they adjust to the new demands of the health care law, Americans whose plans have been canceled can choose to re-enroll of the same kind of plan, the president said during the White House news conference. In coming weeks, insurance companies must also notify customers of what those policies lack and the options consumers have for better coverage under the new law. This fix won't solve every problem for every person, but it's going to help a lot of people. There you have it. We have the healthcare law now is being stretched out a little bit. 1 year. 1 year. Now, let's put it this way. One of the big problems that the president had was he kept promising people, if you like your policy, you can keep it. But that was almost like a snide remark because he kind of knew, and he should have known, that once that law went in, policies were going to go up. It was said time and time again. So this whole rollout was the worst thing in the world. To begin with the website, and then now it's stretching the law and this and that, people losing their insurance. It just doesn't taste right. Although I will say, I'm glad that we now have Obamacare. And a lot of people hate me for that, but you know what? Screw you.
Well, they hate you.
I think they hate you more than just that.
They hate us all.
You don't like it? Kiss my ass. I like it. Thank God for Obamacare. Yeah. A lot of people getting help. No matter what. And there you have it, Derek. Obamacare being stretched.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of stretch.
Yes, it's
What do you got, Derek?
It's 9:30 right now. It's 9:31 right now, Eastern time. In Macon, Georgia, it's 48 degrees. Actually, getting a little bit warmer, a lot warmer than it was the past 2 days. That's for sure. I do have a story about the Queen's daughter. Queen Elizabeth's daughter wonders about eating horse meat in London.
McDonald's.
Yes. Yeah. Britain's Princess Anne says Britons should consider changing their attitude toward eating horse meat. The Queen's daughter, which is a former British Olympic equestrian competitor, says creating a market for horse meat may improve the welfare of horses because owners would take better care of them if they had more value at the end of their lives.
Wow.
The princess spoke yesterday at a conference on horse welfare. Other countries, notably France, value horse meat, but Britain has no strong tradition of eating it. Anne said the press raised the question because I think it needs a debate. Anne is one of the country's top officials at the International Olympic Committee and rarely makes headlines for her opinions, especially about horse meat.
No.
Whether or not it's horse crap.
That's a lot of horse shit. You know? Meanwhile, would she eat it?
Well,
I don't think so. I don't think that the Queen and the family, they're ever going to go near that. They're advocating
even though they do have
but
that
they're never
horse
gonna
teeth.
do it. Never so. Bullshit. She must be on crack. By the way, speaking of conspiracy with John F. Kennedy and all that, guess what? There's a concern in Italy that the mafia may put a hit on Pope Francis. Scary. I don't know if organized criminals have the capability to do something to the Pope, but they are certainly thinking about it. These words were uttered in a recent interview by an Italian anti-mafia prosecutor.
Wow.
He says, don't quite justify the alarming worldwide headlines they provoke, but at the same time it would be a rash to dismiss them out of hand. The new Pope represents a serious threat to some established criminal interests at a critical moment in the long history of mafia's relationship with Catholicism. The past marked by both intimacy and violence. Yeah, because you had all these bishops and all that, all in the pockets of the mafia. I think they're still doing that, believe it or not. How did these guys get so rich?
Possibly.
You know?
I mean, and someone has said that supposedly that the mob had something to do with Kennedy assassination because of their connection with Lee Harvey Oswald, supposedly the connection with Lee Harvey Oswald, because there was a time, I think earlier back in 62 or early 63, that Lee Oswald actually went to Cuba at one time. I think. Yeah.
Who are we talking about, Lee Harvey or the Pope?
Well, the Pope, I was just saying the connection between that and...
Well, Italy's mafia problem is as old as the Italian state. The three major mafias, the Camorra, the Ndrangheta, whatever. What is that?
Ndrangheta.
Yeah, Ndrangheta and the Cosa Nostra originated in the political violence that led to the Italian unification in 1860. Wow. So they're going back. But only in 1993 did the Pope explicitly denounce the mafia. And speaking in Sicily, John Paul II warned mobsters that God's judgment was at hand. Cosa Nostra's own verdict on the Pope's words came 2 months later when it planted bombs that seriously damaged 2 ancient churches in Rome. So the Pope, and you know, although he's of Italian heritage, his family is actually from Italy. He was born or raised in Argentina.
Argentina. Well, yes, there's a large. Well, yeah, that's no question about it because those who don't know, there's a large Italian population in Argentina. Very large,
Yeah.
giant population.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Derek? You think they're gonna try to assassinate Pope?
If they can assassinate the president, they can definitely, assassinate the Pope.
Yeah. No,
Because he
it's
can't.
scary.
He can't. I mean, he can't live in a bubble. I mean, even though he does have that Pope mobile.
Yeah, he had that bubble mobile.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Our Pope being threatened. That's all we need is another assassination. God forbid.
Yes. Talk about assassinations. The people who were supposed to protect the president, the Secret Service, two of Secret Service supervisors have been demoted from presidential detail.
Oh, yeah. Tell them why, Derek.
Oh, yes. Just after a year after a prostitution scandal rocked the elite reputation of the team designated to protect President Obama, a new sexual misconduct investigation is reportedly underway for two Secret Service officers. Two Secret Service supervisors have reportedly been removed from the president's security team after they were accused of sending sexually explicit emails to a female subordinate. The international investigation began after one of the officers, senior supervisor Ignacio Zamora Jr., was accused of trying to force his way into a woman's hotel room earlier this year. Zamora reportedly went to this hotel in Washington, D.C. with the woman this past spring after having drinks with her while he was off duty. But when the woman discovered Zamora was armed, she asked him to leave. Now, the Washington Post, which broke the story, explains why Zamora was then, quote-unquote, allegedly discovered attempting to re-enter the woman's room after accidentally leaving a bullet from his service weapon. I mean, Secret Service officers generally keep a bullet in the chamber of their service weapon to remove that bullet and the magazine as a precaution in situations that do not pose a threat.
There you have it. Wow.
So yeah, so basically, I mean, what type of signal does this thing leaving a bullet there? That's supposed to be like. What?
I mean, that happens. You got that. Look at what happened with Kennedy. I mean, where the hell was the Secret Service? They were right there, but they didn't pay attention.
Well,
they didn't.
I mean, they were right there.
They should have known better.
Well, first of all, they shouldn't have had him driving around in an open limousine.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, there's always been these, these Secret Service mishaps. I mean, ironically, the first Secret Service person who was in charge of guarding the president was the first one. He was assigned by President Lincoln himself. And remember, and this was on the day of Ford's Theater. He says, "Well, I'm going to go get me a drink across the street from Ford's Theater. Ain't nothing bad going to happen." All of a sudden, he goes, "Pow!" Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so fired.
I think I'm going to lose my job.
Oh yeah, he definitely lost his job. I'm quite sure.
Well, going back to the Pope, do you know Sarah Palin is apologizing to the Pope for calling him a liberal? This wench, what a bitch. She's going to hell. Former Alaska governor and Republican vice president candidate Sarah Palin apologized Thursday for criticism of Pope Francis.
Mm-hmm.
It was not my intention to be critical of Pope Francis, Palin wrote Thursday on her Facebook page. I was reminding viewers that we need to do our homework on news subjects. And I hadn't done mine yet on the Pope's recent comments as reported by the media. I apologize for not being clearer with my response. In other words, it's kind of a half apology. She's so full of shit.
Possibly.
Somebody ought to do something, I'm telling you. During Tuesday interview, Palin said that she was taken aback by some of the Pope's remarks. Are you kidding me? You're taken aback by the Pope, so what about you frickin' wench?
Yeah.
How many stupid ass remarks did this woman make? Why is she such a can
How much time do we have left on this shit?
I mean, come on.
How many times has she said something stupid?
Around? She's annoying it.
Because she's way cuter looking than Speaker Boehner, that's why. If she wasn't cute, man, people would never would have known who she was. Yeah. I mean, let's
it's ridiculous.
And this from a guy who knows all about tits and tape.
This is crazy shit. It would be like Anthony saying that other people are rude to him. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's outrageous.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of like what he said earlier. You know, saying about me, thinking about myself and always thinking of himself and this and that. And meanwhile, you're
the word. Did you mean disclaimer time? The words.
You're like my Sarah Palin. You know, it's ridiculous.
The words of so and so will fill in the blank.
I feel terrible.
You know what the rest goes.
Thinking about myself, stupid ass. Anyway, so
I can't even go to old disclaimer. You know what it is. Figure it
anyway, let me say, I can't stand Sarah Palin. By the way, she is like she's like a menstrual rag to me. You know. Time I see her,
Goodness.
what is this woman doing?
Trying to get
Why
face
is she
time.
even alive?
Because she's cuter than John McCain. That's why. If she was butt freaking ugly, people wouldn't even know who she was.
Yeah, well,
Like I said, if she looked like the crib keeper, man, people wouldn't even give 2 cents about what she thought or what she said. I mean, just saying.
she should be home taking care of her kid. That for lack of a better term, that retarded kid she had. Yeah, she should take care of him. Leave everybody alone. Go away.
Okay, I didn't.
Go raise your kid.
And I didn't say. I didn't know what you were talking about at first. About Derek DB, the new Shea Guevara. Okay, hat.
Oh, hi, Seaflook. Seaflook is on. Say hello, Derek.
How you doing, Seaflook? Congrats. Thank you for the donation. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
She left Wasala in heavy debt.
I'm sure she did.
Mm-hmm.
She was 2 years? She out of her 4 years, and she left.
Yeah.
Then she supposedly left politics, but she's still around like a freaking cancer. It's
Like
like a boil on your ass, you know.
Dang, man, you
Like
must
a
got ears. I was just
gigantic
about to
abscess.
say that.
Like a gigantic, bloody-looking,
Pus-filled
smelling, red,
boil.
pussy abscess on my ass. Can't stand her. Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of boils and other types of diseases, this would be another wing dang doodle of a story right
All right,
here.
what do we got?
You would not believe this. Here it is. There was a herpes virus found on library copies of 50 Shades of Grey.
Wow.
Can you believe this? In toxicology screenings of the 10 most borrowed books at the Antwerp Library in Belgium, 2 Belgian university professors found traces of the herpes virus on copies of E.L. James' 50 Shades of Grey.
You know what that says, right? That says it's like the old Playboy magazine.
Yeah, that means
masturbating
that
over
means,
the book.
Yeah, but it had to be some women, so ain't no dudes right reading fapping over no daggone romantic novels. I mean, unless it had pictures in the sucker.
Who knows?
That's too much work. You gotta read and fap. Come on, you gotta turn the pages. It's not like Playboy, which you got pictures in it.
Yeah.
You gotta read and turn the page and fap, then turn the page again, then turn
She
the
lets
page
her
again.
fingers
So
do
they
her
get stuck
walk.
together and then y'all fuck.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of nasty. I mean, it is like really.
Wow, it is bad. Anyway.
And that was the only thing. That was the only thing that they found about it. Although it was probably the most alarming.
Yeah.
So
By the way, Derek sure knows a lot about fapping. What's that?
Ask Muhammad that. But it says copies of all the 10 most borrowed books show traces of cocaine. Not enough to make a pharmacological effect, but enough to cause a person who touched the books to test positive for the drug, which a toxicologist told.
Don't you think this whole story is just a lot of more
You think it's actually a
bullshit
publicity stunt?
about this book, 50 Shades of Grey, trying to show how the results? It proves that people do get horny over this book. People do want to read this book. Mm-hmm. People do masturbate over this book. Don't you think this is all kind of just to try to sell more books?
Possibly, and plus, not to mention the movie's supposed to come out next year.
Yeah, well, I think it sucks.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to. Why would you want to see a book, a movie like that? Why would you want to frustrate yourself watching a movie like that? I mean, how interesting is that going to be?
It all depends on your male or female. The females seem to like it. Oh, by
Yeah,
the
a
way,
lot of females
Andy
seem to like-
Kaufman's dead.
No.
It was a hoax.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
all. So.
Okay,
Yeah.
but this is but you know, like I said, the majority of people who read those books are women anyway, because it's a romantic, barely romantic
Yeah, well.
novel.
It's about being horny.
Yeah, being horny, like a big old jock or something, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Well,
Speaking of jocks,
I don't know how that
Are we
book
going
became
to
number
sports
one.
now?
yeah, we're going into sports.
Okay. You need to cue the cute girls.
Okay. Well,
I don't know, but it's gonna be a big hit. Kind of like Hunger Games.
Yeah, it's going to be a big hit because it's a. I mean, since it's a best selling novel, it's New York Times bestseller.
I don't know why. Who
And
knows?
I think they just started filming, or at least started casting it and getting ready to film it like late this month. I think it's supposed to come out sometime next year.
AGT said genital herpes infection is common in the U.S. Nationwide, 16%. Wait a minute, and it's not just common in the U.S. It's common everywhere, especially in those European countries.
Possibly.
Go to France. People like to kiss with their noses and their tongues and all that.
Yeah, but they got a whole bunch of wine. You know that alcohol kills that stuff. You know, supposedly.
Well, that's,
Disinfectant. Used as a disinfectant.
you know, I noticed something. Every time we talk nasty, Mario's gal leaves. Yeah. Yep. Live broadcast tonight at 8 o'clock at the Douglas Theater. Anybody that's in the area wants to come on in. We'll interview you and see you react to what's going on around us. I'm not even sure, but I hear there's going to be music and Dub Shack and Shit Shack and all that.
A whole bunch of other
And
stuff.
for a good cause, too.
Yes, for breast
Save the
cancer.
tatas.
Yes, for breast cancer.
Oh, is that right, Hank Hill? Maria's gal is an older lady. Oh, maybe that's what it is. Sorry, Maria's gal. That's the way our show is. Very unpredictable. Sometimes good, sometimes really bad.
Yeah, really, really bad. Yes.
All right, we're going to do sports, Derek. Is
Yes,
that
we're
it?
gonna
I
do
see
sports.
you,
Getting that
bringing
ready.
it up.
Yes.
Speaking of bad, this is the time for sports.
Yes.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
if
Derek.
you're in your touch. So, hello everyone. We're getting ready for Morning Roast Sports. As you know, we had a Thursday night NFL game starting the week number 11 of the NFL season. They had the Indianapolis Colts versus the Tennessee Titans. And as a result, the Colts earn a close victory over the Tennessee Titans. They won 30-27, as was seen on the NFL Network. The Colts quarterback Andrew Luck finished with 232 yards passing on 23 for 36 attempts, one touchdown pass, one rush, and no interceptions. Ryan Fitzpatrick went for 22 attempts with 28 completions, that is, with 222 yards passing, one touchdown, and no interceptions for the Titans. Donald Brown was a focal point for the Colts, running at will on the Titans for 80 yards for 14 carries for 2 touchdowns, in addition to 1 reception for 14 yards. Colby Fleener was a top receiver, catching 8 balls for 107 yards. And that's pretty much all I have for, at least for the NFL. In other news, we have the NBA, which is going on. Of course, you know, the majority of the NFL games will be majority on Sunday afternoon on CBS and on Fox, and the one NFL game, Sunday night game on NBC. And of course, the week ending, the last game of the week will be on Monday Night Football at 8:30 p.m. on ESPN. We'll probably talk about that on Monday. However, we have some other sports-related news about the NBA. So far, the Philadelphia 76ers are now in first place in their division, Atlantic Division, in the Eastern Conference. Indiana Pacers are still undefeated. They're 8-0 in the Central. Miami Heat is in the Southeast Eastern Conference in the top place is 5-3, with Atlanta in second place with 4-4. There was some games last night, 2 of them on TNT that we had. You had the Houston Rockets over the New York Knicks, 109-106, and the Golden State Warriors barely squeaked by the Oklahoma City Thunder, 116-115. a buzzer beating of a score by 1 point. We have some games coming up tonight. We have the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Indiana Pacers coming on at 7 p.m. You have Chicago Bulls over the Toronto Raptors also at 7. You have the Philadelphia 76ers versus the Hawks at 7:30, with the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Celtics. Boston Celtics 7:30. Charlotte is going to be going against LeBron's old team, Cleveland Cavaliers at 7:30. Also, Dallas Mavericks versus the Miami Heat, also at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, you have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Denver Nuggets. 9 o'clock, the Brooklyn Nets versus Phoenix Suns. You have San Antonio Spurs versus Utah Jazz, also at 9. The Memphis Grizzlies versus the Lakers at 10:30. And the Detroit Pistons versus the Sacramento Kings, also at 10:30. Check your local listings and cable provider and satellite provider where these games will be playing in your area. Also, the Mercer Bears are going to be playing. They have a game tomorrow for college football. The Mercer Bears has a game. They're not going to be at home, but they will be on the road. They're going to be playing at Marist College in Poughkeepsie, New York. Poughkeepsie, Irving's neck of the woods, somewhere near their home state. They're going to be playing. Game time is at 1 p.m. Kickoffs at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. They're going to be playing at Marist College. The next home game and the last home game will be Stetson, where they're playing against Stetson, and they're going to be at home at 4 p.m. That'll be next Saturday. Also, one more thing, the Georgia Bulldogs, they're going to be playing, I think they'll be playing at home versus Auburn, and that game is going to be tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 on CBS. Catch you later, see that game. I hope you'll check it out. And I'm going to watch the game and also check out the Senadores. And I'm going to go ahead and check out these Senadores. And that's pretty much all I have for sports right now. We are back with Irv. You can come back now and get your coffee on.
Yeah.
And
nice
we are
picture
back.
of Ant there. That's his other pink outfit.
Yes.
By the way, Brian, I'm sad to hear that you have so many medical bills. You see what I'm talking about? Even though, people are against Obamacare, this is the kind of shit that they could help cover.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands and thousands of dollars in medical bills. Now, unfortunately, Brian has to deal with and contend with. It's terrible, But I'm hoping you get back. I'm hoping that you get back to doing the things that you need to do to continue. Yeah. I'm sure they'll let you work in crutches, though, but it's a liability issue. Of course, they don't want you tripping on, And how are you going to dispense medicine if you got a crutch in your hand, huh?
Right, that's true.
Yeah. That's great. That's
running
great,
with the Bulls. I
Right,
shoot the
that's
Bulls
what I
and
would've
I'm running
done
with them.
Had I done it.
What would Ant do? That's funny.
Oh,
That is so funny.
yeah. There you go.
Wow.
Wow, what
And-
the hell? That's good. There we go. How'd you fit that picture in? Is that really Anthony's picture?
Yeah,
Oh, no, he's-
that's Anthony.
Wow. Anthony, did you grow your beard that big? That doesn't look like it's Photoshop.
Yeah, he's gotten that thick before. I've seen his beard be that thick before when he was filming. We were filming what's that movie? Vicious Cycle. He actually got it that thick.
Morningwood.
Morning. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, as we know, Anthony is an actor, and he's doing some.
Well, he's more than an actor. He's
well,
an
writer and
actor,
director.
Writer, author,
But, yeah.
producer, pain in the ass.
He's a character.
He's a character
He's a
actor.
character, all right.
Character.
In his own movie.
Yes. He's also going to be playing the Tin Man in the Megalo Theater stage production of The Wizard of Oz coming soon as the Tin Man, reprising his role that he played in Nick Chopper and the 40 Wolves.
You know what, Ed, is that a problem to bring up Nick Chopper? Maybe we could play a little bit during break?
I don't have it right now. It's
All
too
right.
late to get it ready.
All right. Well, what about, can we bring up the roasted commercial, bring up something that Anthony produced? Something. All right, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, we played it before. No?
I know, there's a lot of stuff I had to get rid of.
Yeah, he had to delete him because he didn't have enough room. But speaking of actors, which I'm glad Ed sent me this story. Says lights, cameras, and Hollywood action are coming back to Central Georgia this weekend.
Yeah.
This time the movie will bypass Macon for a set further down I-75. Producers of the movie Barely Lethal, starring Jessica Alba, Samuel Jackson, and Haley Steinfeld, chose Perry for the filming location. It's about a 16-year-old assassin that wants a normal life and enrolls in a suburban high school. That character is played by Miss Steinfeld. She was nominated for an Oscar in her 2011 role in True Grit.
There's a picture of Anthony. Right there.
Says, at the Coffee Cup on Carroll Street, people had not heard that a movie was about to start filming in Perry. Perry's CVB director, Sheila Jones, said she kept it a secret during the producer's site visits to the city this summer. She said that as they're planning for this, we're not really allowed to drop names or talk about it. But now it's real now, and crews have started outfitting Guardian Centers, a military and a disaster training site, for the film 2 weeks ago. Program manager at Guardian Centers, Van Burkhardt, said that filming begins this weekend and will run roughly 1 week.
Yeah.
Says Burkhardt said movie producers didn't want to show off the sets just yet, so he showed us a model of the 830-acre site, explaining why movie makers will want to use it
And that
for rescue
is
scenes.
a wonderful, wonderful spot. They were showing pictures of it. This guy's like a multi-millionaire. He owns this whole place with buildings and roads and rail yard and all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a tremendous place to make movies over and over. Of course, Macon loses, but maybe Macon can win. It's right next door. It's Perry.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it is a beautiful site. I mean, it really is interesting looking.
That's probably why the Georgia National Fair is always held in Perry, because it's a huge moneymaker, more than a moneymaker compared to Georgia State Fair.
But this guy, he's like a multi-millionaire. He owns
Yeah.
like the rail yard. He owns all sorts of shit there. It's got an old train station. It's got buildings. It's got roads. It's got everything.
Yeah. Yes,
And
it does.
it would be a great. I've been saying that for a while now. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's really great. As a matter of fact, Burkhardt says that Steinfeld, who was in True Grit, along with Jessica Alba and Samuel Jackson, will be part of the scenes filmed next week in Perry.
Are you going to try to apply for that? Or what about you, Ant? Any actors out there going to apply to try to be in that movie?
I'm definitely gonna try. I know I won't be able to do it on Wednesday because that's when I have my interview.
Or have they called? Do they have a casting call? Is the question.
Yeah, that is a question. I guess we have to find out if there is a
gotta
casting
find
call for it. Yeah.
All right, there you have it. More filming in Central Georgia.
Yes.
Central Georgia soon becoming. And meanwhile, Atlanta's losing a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that?
That's true.
Atlanta's
That's
starting.
true.
Something's up. Something's going on with Atlanta. So, we got 2 minutes before our next break.
Going on 9:59.
9:59.
Just want to know that it's, of course, we have the thing that at the Douglas Theater for tonight, as well as just want to remind everyone that this upcoming weekend, this Sunday, Robert Irony Single will have his one-man show, Blinded by the Walking Dead, at the Grand Opera House. So if anyone is going to be in the Macon area during this weekend and wants to check out downtown, check out Irony Singleton, who was one of the actors in the movie The Blind Side, as well as his best-known role as playing T-Dog, the black guy from the Walking Dead from AMC.
How could you tell he's a black guy? They got so much makeup on, no?
Well, he wasn't one of the zombies. He was he was probably the only black male character on the show for at least 3 seasons. So he was the black person on the show.
I got a question though.
The only
Have
token
you
black guy.
counted how many people got stabbed in the brand of that show since they've been on? That'd be a good trivia question.
Yeah, that'd be a very good trivia question.
A hell of a lot of people got stabbed.
Oh yeah, a lot of them.
All right. There you have it. We're going on break. Let's take a break.
It's 10 o'clock right now.
We're coming back. Last hour of the Morning Rose up until tonight.
Yeah, at
when
least
we
till
broadcast live from the Douglas Theater at 8 o'clock. Hopefully, we'll have a good time there. Who knows?
Exactly.
It may be just as shitty as this show so far.
Well, not that bad though. Maybe the weather is. It's 44 degrees outside and cloudy with a high of 64 and a low of 50 degrees with a 20% chance of showers.
By
Keep your
mistake,
umbrella
make
ready.
sure you try to get on tonight, will you, pal? Or girl, whatever you are. Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock. You're watching the Morning Roast live from the Nut House. We'll be right back. There you go.
Where would they go?
Yes, I mean, because, well,
How would they get out of it? It'd be a massive hysteria.
yeah, it's
They're
massive.
living-
Well,
they're
they
living
can't
in
go
that
anywhere
bed.
because, for one thing, Philippines, it's an island nation, so there's nowhere to go. They're just surrounded by water and debris.
They do have thousands of islands, though, no?
Yeah.
I mean, they just got to get them out of that area.
Well,
Put 'em
I
somewhere
think
else.
They need to prepare like Florida. I used to get slammed. So
Get 'em all
everything
out.
was required concrete block. Everything's concrete block. So when the damn shit comes, you know, it don't blow down.
Yeah. Yeah, it says ATT says most islands were wiped out, so, you know, where can you go? I mean, at least Florida is part of the mainland, so, I mean, they're able,
That's
I
gonna
mean,
break off, like Herb says.
I mean, granted, I mean, it's peninsula, but still.
They're
Yeah,
gonna break off into the.
They'll break
Into the
up and
Gulf
float
Stream.
away like that Iceland thing. Who knows?
yeah, like iceberg. Hopefully that won't be for a long, long time.
Yeah. They're very sad. They're living a nightmare. I mean, every single day, imagine waking up to that.
Yeah, that's got to be, that's heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching,
Well,
too.
when you think you've had a shitty day, just think there's somebody out there.
Got it crappier than you, yeah.
Their damn straw got stuck in their Capri Sun.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I may need to get in touch with my friend Chris because his wife is from is from the Philippines. I think she's native born citizen of the
Yeah,
Philippines. I think
I had
she
a
still has.
roommate who was
Yeah.
from the Philippines, Robert Rojon.
Uh-huh.
But he lived in Saudi Arabia. He was part of something with Saudi Arabia with the military.
Yeah.
And then, but he was a roommate of mine, and he always said, the island was a powder keg ready to explode. I mean, he said it's either earthquake or tsunami or who knows.
Yeah. Because I think she still
I
has
guess he
family there.
predicted it 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it is off the scale in terms of tragedy. But a lot of people just need to leave there. I mean, they could do what they did. Where was it? Remember that island that had the volcano go off? Doesn't even exist anymore, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't even exist. I thought you were about to say Haiti or Vieques, where they had all those atomic bombs.
No, Vieques is Puerto Rico. I'm talking about that island, Montezuma or some shit. Some island that went off. Somebody should know this. It had a major volcano and
eruption.
and it covered everything, and everybody had to leave. Yeah.
When was this?
This was about, I'd say about 15 years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Be lucky to find
Monticello or Monta something. Monta whatever.
Who knows?
Anyway, they had to leave because there was
yeah.
a big volcano erupted, and it covered the whole island with ash. And there was just no way they could
Well,
live there.
look at Hawaii. I mean, these are active volcanoes. These people are living there. Any minute, any day, any time.
Kaboom! Yeah.
All right. There you have
Yeah.
it. Terrible news.
It's going on 10:14 a.m. Eastern Time in Macon, Georgia, Washington. The morning roast in our third and final hour of there, at least until tonight. We're going to be at the Douglas Theater here live at the Nut House with Irv, Ed, and DB. It's 48 degrees outside in Macon. It's still cloudy with a chance of thunderstorms or showers. The high is going to be 64 and the low is going to be 50 degrees. So you may not need a parka, but at least maybe a windbreaker later tonight.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna kind of switch gears here. We're gonna go right to our daily bread this morning. Certainly after that kind of news in the Philippines, we need to really contemplate a little bit about who really is in control of all this. And there were people there, of course. A lot of heroic acts are being done. Actually, people themselves are the people there, the ones that are dealing with this tragedy. They're actually helping each other out, find some of the family members, some of the bodies. They're getting it all together. They're starting to work to help themselves, you know. And so those are what I call fearless champions, you know. It's kind of like it brings out the best in people when tragedy occurs, unfortunately.
Yes.
You know. And today's Daily Bread is our fearless champion for November 15, 2013. And here we go. Got my beautiful Pope picture up, right, Ed? Always puts me in the mood.
Beautiful? I don't have a beautiful
well,
picture.
But he has it.
I got a Pope picture, it ain't beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, it always gets me in the mood when I look at my picture. There you go. I'm the Pope. Pope of Maine.
Not got the mafia in my ear.
Yeah. The title of this, of course, is Our Fearless Champion for November 15, 2013, written by Joe Stowell. And this is him speaking. Falling asleep was a challenging event during my childhood. No sooner had my parents turned out the lights than the crumpled clothes I had thrown on the chair would take a form of a fiery dragon, and the thoughts of something living under my bed put me in a panic that made sleep impossible. Boy, that kid had issues. I've come to realize that the immobilizing power of fear is not just a childhood experience. Fear keeps us from forgiving, taking a stand at the office, giving our resources to God's kingdom, or saying no when all friends are saying yes. Left to ourselves, we are up against a lot of fiery dragons in our lives. In the story of the disciples in the storm-tossed boat, I'm struck by the fact that the only one who was not afraid was Jesus. He was not afraid of the storm, nor was he afraid of a crazy man in the graveyard or the legion of demons that possessed him in Matthew chapter 8, verse 23 to 34. In the face of fear, we need to hear Jesus ask, "Why are you fearful?" Verse 26. And it reminded me that he will never leave us nor forsake us in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5 through 6. And there is nothing he can't overcome, and therefore nothing for him to fear. So next time you're haunted by your fears, remember that you can rely on Jesus, our fearless champion. A little prayer here he puts down. Lord, thank you for the reminder that you will never leave us nor forsake us. When I am afraid, I know that I can rely on your presence and power to calm my heart and overcome my fears. In the times of fear, call out to Jesus, our fearless champion. And in Matthew, your Bible read for today, in Matthew chapter 8, verse 26, why are you fearful? There you have it.
Matthew 8, 26.
No, 27.
Okay.
Matthew 8, 26.
Okay.
There we go.
There you have it. It's 10:18, and we have less than 45 minutes left on the show. There's some stuff. Just got some breaking news about Fickling's attorney about voters prevented from casting runoff ballots.
Wow.
This is from Henry Fickling, or at least his attorney. An attorney for Macon Bibb Commission candidate Henry Fickling alleges that as many as 53 people were improperly prevented from voting in the District 2
That's a high
race.
number. That number could
15
overturn the election.
Yes, exactly. He says that happened due to an alleged district error that gave voters ballots for the wrong district races. He said that could be enough to overturn the victory by Larry Schlesinger, who defeated Fickling by 26 votes last month. And where it says, that's according to a news release. It says we have now substantially completed our investigation, which conclusively reveals that at least 50 and possibly as many as 53 voters who resided in Overlook Gardens apartments were not able to vote in the October 15, 2013 special election runoff. As we know, Schlesinger led the original September 17th vote, but did not gain a majority of the race and went to a runoff, which resulted in him winning by 26 votes in October in the runoff. Mr. Fickling objected and asked for a recount, which recount yielded the same results. Then Mr. Fickling then alleged fraud and filed suit against the Board of Elections, and he has asked for a new election.
There you have it. Mr. Fickling's not giving up. Hopefully he'll fight this hard for us if he does get to overturn it. Because believe me, District 2, really, my district, really needs a lot of work.
Yes.
So look, I would rather see Schlesinger in, but if not, hopefully Fickling will, and if by some chance this whole thing is overturned because of the screw-ups that they had during this election, that Fickling will do something besides just showing up pretty at Elaine Lucas's show, trying to be a host of a show. Yeah, he hosted Elaine Lucas not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
On that Herbert Denard show.
Oh, I see.
So I don't know. By the way, did you hear Shane Woodall? You know Shane Woodall. Derek, Tara London just posted this. Shane's daughter was picked for the Samuel Jackson album movie. She's an assassin.
Oh, okay.
No kidding.
Well,
how old is she?
She got to be somewhere in the teens, because I think that's what they mentioned in the news footage and the story, that it's about a young assassin. That's hence the name Barely Lethal.
So she's got that lead, Anthony. That's incredible.
Yeah. That is amazing right there.
If she really got that part, that is incredible. That is something great for Shane. By the way, Shane Woodall, one of the nicest, sweetest guys around. Great father, his wife, wonderful mother, very cool couple, great kids. Just an all-around good guy.
Yeah.
Shane Woodall. And Anthony's that way too, despite Anthony's craziness, Anthony's a great dad, good husband. I'll say good husband, but a great dad.
Yeah.
I'll say it for myself. He's a good friend. Yeah, not great, but he's good. Yeah. No, actually, he is great.
Okay.
I love Anthony. Yeah. No matter what anybody says. Well, and it doesn't surprise me about me loving somebody so hateful. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the way I've always been. I hate those that are hated.
Yeah.
I mean, I love those that are hated. Yeah, I hate them too. But I love those that are hated. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very
Speaking
true.
of hate, I hate this son of a bitch. Van Damme. Ugh.
I be Van Damme.
Oh.
Anyway.
Guy's an idiot. I can't. Did you ever see? He doesn't act. That son of a. all he does is speak words. He doesn't act.
With a French accent.
It's horrible.
Yes, I mean, basically, back in the days, Jean-Claude Van Damme, who's a martial art action film star who's been around since the 80s, one of my favorite movies such as Bloodsport and Kickboxer. And matter of fact, he even had a movie cameo, probably one of his first films, or probably his debut film, in a scene from one of my favorite breakdance movies, Breakin'. He was in that, so go figure. He was the one doing the splits. And,
well, he was a has-been, and now he's trying to come back. What is that all about?
Well, see, 30 years later, after doing splits on TV and movies and stuff,
did he get his ass kicked by somebody?
Well, yeah, I think in that one movie, I think in the sequel of The Expendables, I think.
No. I mean, really get his ass kicked by somebody.
Did you see the commercial?
No, I haven't seen the
I have
commercial.
the commercial if you want to watch it.
Oh yeah, please roll that footage. It's supposed to be.
Is this for Van Damme?
Yeah.
It's a Volvo truck commercial.
Yes,
All right,
Volvo
wow.
truck commercial.
Let's watch some really bad acting from a bad actor. And damn him, damn it, Van Damme it. I can't stand him. Really.
I've had my ups and downs, my fair share of bumpy roads and heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today. Now I stand here before you. What you see is a body crafted to perfection. A pair of legs engineered to defy the laws of physics. and a mindset to master the most epic of splits.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time.
Alright, we're back.
Yes, and we're back. Had that nice new age song, new age music playing.
That's the best movie he's ever made.
Oh, because
Crap.
he didn't open his mouth, I guess. They crazy glued his feet to the trucks.
It would have been nice had he fallen off and they run him over. Yeah, get rid of that. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
Did you see that face? How horrible.
Well, God, he's old.
He's
old.
53, man.
Yeah, but
I mean, what he gonna look like? Look like he's 17 years old? My goodness, he ain't
I don't
17.
know.
He's 53.
He's got money. Get
I don't
some
even look like
freaking face
myself
on.
when I was 17. Shoot.
But he doesn't look like
Looks like you've been
Why don't
punched in
you
the
get
face
a
too many
haircut?
times.
You're scaring everybody.
Gorilla glue.
Yeah, that's who it was. It was Chuck Zito. Thank you. Yeah, Chuck Zito was the one that whipped his ass in New York.
Well, John Cobb had a damn no shit anyway. He's just a good actor. You can't-
Yeah, how old is he anyway? That's
53.
53?
Yeah.
So he's only 2 years older than me, and
Yeah.
he looks double my age. I'm sorry, I look good for 51. Yeah, I love myself. Yeah.
Where's that song?
Yeah, where's that music?
I don't look a day older than 40. Yeah.
They older than 40.
Right, Anthony? I don't look like Janet Reno either. Yeah. Yeah, he looks like that at 53. He's pretty bad.
Yeah, they booing you, man. I don't look a day over 40. Yeah,
Yeah.
Fat, drunk,
Yeah.
and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
40 BC. But
Anyway, Zito was a Hells Angels type motorcycle club and a bouncing security guy, yeah. Yeah, anyway. So, I can't believe we just gave props to, yeah. If Chuck Zito beats your ass, it is okay, yeah. Zito was on Stern to talk about it, yeah. Yeah, it was a big deal because, you know, he's so known for being such a good fighter and this and that, and he got out and kick his ass. You know who that happened to also? It happened to Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx almost got his ass whooped. And I'm trying to remember who it was, but it was in that Expendables, the Expendables, I think it was.
he wasn't even in that movie. You talking about Any Given Sunday?
Yeah,
I think he almost got in a fight with LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, that's right.
LL Cool
whipped his
J
ass.
is hard as yeah.
Who's the guy that played jazz on Fresh Prince?
Will Smith. Oh, you talking about DJ Jazzy Jeff? Yeah.
Oh, that is his name? DJ Jazzy.
Yeah, LL Cool J would whip his ass. That boy is huge.
Oh
man.
yeah. I mean, the dude's been I mean, the dude works out for real
well.
And he plays a Navy SEAL, on NCIS LA.
Yeah.
I mean, so and if you play a Navy SEAL, you can't be a cream puff. You're not gonna be weaving baskets all day long.
You know, my ex-brother-in-law was his manager when LL Cool J was, a nobody. And he told him he made the biggest mistake of his life. My brother-in-law, that is. By telling LL Cool J, I'm going to drop you in promoting you because you really have no talent. You're not about anything. Now, I will agree with him. LL Cool J is not the biggest talent Other than, always licking his lips and
That's right, baby pop.
Yeah. He's always licking his lips.
Man, how?
Why don't you get some Vaseline?
Look, Chapstick. If you're listening to me right now, if you don't get LL Cool J to be your spokesperson for Chapstick, I'm telling you, you're sitting on a freaking gold mine right now. If you don't do it, man, something
I
wrong.
think they need Big Jagger.
Well, yeah, that's Mick Jagger.
Southpaw, you from Blog TV? We're all from Blog TV.
Yeah, we're all from Blog TV. Our show used to started on Blog TV.
We started on
matter of
Blog
fact.
TV.
Mhm.
Now it's cool. What's it called? Yes something or some bullshit?
You now.
You now.
Yeah. He's not a strong actor. That is true. Of course not. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not even a strong rapper. What's his most memorable song? Do you remember? Derek
No rebel can quite like a man. I take a muscle bound man, put a face in the sand. Not the last mafioso, I'm an MC kind. Make it tell, yo, LL, just do the why. Anyway, that's from. That was from Bigger. That's from I'm Bad from Bigger and Deffer, 1987 Def Jam recording.
There is a new Yoko Ono video song.
Mama said knock you out. Yeah, that's true. That was he won a Grammy. Yeah, he won a Grammy for that actually. By the
I
way.
don't want to hear Yoko Ono.
Yeah, don't we have? Yeah, you have something that sounds like Yoko Ono. I can do Yoko Ono.
It was like I don't know if she was singing or being electrocuted.
That rap battle. Jared versus Herb. No, it should be Herb versus Ant.
I would like to have a video with Yoko Ono. That would be fun.
But you gotta find something other
Every
than that.
man has a woman who loves him. Rain or shine.
Imagine all the people
Why do I run?
going deaf all at once from hearing me.
Why do I laugh when I feel like crying? That's really a Yoko Ono song.
Yeah. Where's Milli Vanilli when we can find where we can find him?
Yeah, they should have shot Yoko Ono. You're right. they shot the wrong guy.
Yeah.
And there was something about Yoko Ono that looked pretty primitive. She looks like a woman that they should have had her in that movie like 1,000 years BC or something, like
a million years
savage-looking women. Like somebody that you could drag in a cave by her hair.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. I think that's what they call it now, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I got another.
Yoko gave John a bono. Yoko Ono looks like someone whipped her at.
Yes.
With an ugly stick.
Yeah, I remember someone actually did a joke about her. It was on the headlines of it was a really crappy show on the WB, and it had like Yoko Ono arrested for.
I never just say something disposable reality. Why is he autistic or what? Why or something? Why are you asking the same question? We just answered that question. We're all from Blog TV. Stop asking the same question. Stupid. Who's the president? Yeah. Anna?
That concludes the remedial portion of our show.
Yes.
Ask the same question over and over. Yeah, we're from Blog TV. That's it. Enough.
Yes.
Ask me the question again.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
Well, in other news.
Yeah, I'm going to use sign language. Here's my sign. Yeah.
In
Yes,
other
we're
news.
from Blog TV.
Here's some news. This is from Ed's old stomping grounds in Hartford, Connecticut. Bonnie Jean Forshaw has been granted clemency in 1986 murder. Will walk free today.
Yeah.
Bonnie Jean Forshaw was released this morning from York Correctional Institution after serving nearly 3 decades for a 1986 murder of a pregnant woman. The 3-member board of pardons and paroles unanimously approved Forshaw's
That's Whoopi
release
Goldberg.
last month. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought it was at first too.
Wow.
Yeah. She has served more than 27 years of a 45-year sentence in the shooting death of Joyce Amos and her unborn son outside of a Hartford social club.
She looks like a Fickling vote.
Dang. Dang, you sure are humble, her.
That's not one thing I'm known for.
Obviously, he's a great,
I
he's a
appreciate
scholar
the
at
compliment.
sarcasm.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I appreciate the compliment.
the parole board agreed to hear Forshaw's case after a 1989 legal memo surfaced suggesting that she did not have an adequate defense. A victim of domestic abuse, Forshaw made an emotional plea to the board, during which she expressed remorse and said she pulled the trigger in an attempt to scare a man who said she was harassing her. And Chief State's Attorney Kevin Kane criticized the board's decision to grant clemency. Had they checked the facts instead of relying blindly on Mrs. Forshaw's version, they would know that she was convicted on evidence that convinced a jury and the appellate courts, he wrote in a Quran editorial.
Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
She's now a 66-year-old grandmother, and she's free now.
It looks weird.
Yeah, very weird.
I can't find this this story. This guy was convicted yesterday of that boating accident with the 2 kids and.
Oh, I got that. I
You
got it.
got that? Why don't you bring that up? This is so sad because this guy was found not guilty on 8 counts and found guilty on 3 counts.
Yes, this is from Alexis Stevens from Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Says
He was drunk. He was on a boat.
Mhm.
God.
Yes, the man who caused the fatal lake crash that killed 2 Gwinnett County brothers was acquitted on homicide charges yesterday afternoon. But Paul Bennett was found guilty of boating under the influence, reckless operation of a vessel, and failure to render aid in the crash that killed the Prince brothers in June of 2012 last year.
Yeah.
Mr. Bennett, age 45 years of age, of Cumming, Georgia, was sentenced to 30 months in prison, followed by 18 months on probation and 400 hours of community service. He has no more boating privileges in the state of Georgia and must undergo drug and alcohol evaluations,
Good.
according to a Hall County judge
Those
rule.
2 little kids are dead, and that son
Yes.
of a bitch left the scene.
Yes.
He didn't render any kind of help. He just hit him, and he was drunk.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
He hit the
Bennett,
boat, killed the kids, and then floated away.
yes. Bennett was accused of drunk driving drunk when his boat collided with a pontoon boat on Lake Lanier around 10:30 p.m. on June 18, 2012, over a year ago. The Prince family of 5 was among 13 people on the pontoon at the time of the crash, which sent the 2 youngest members of that boat, 2 Prince brothers, Jake, 9 years old, and Griffin, 13, into the dark lake. The oldest, when the boats collided, the older brother, Ryan, jumped into the lake and pulled Jake from the water, but Jake could not be revived. It would be 9 days before divers located Griffin's body, 113 feet below. underwater.
Okay, I have a question for you, Derek. Do you think if that had been a black man riding that boat, killing those 2 beautiful little white kids, that he would have gotten a worse sentencing?
Oh, you bet. He would have gotten more. He would have gotten 30 years. Forget 30 months. He would have gotten 30 years.
I mean, even this woman that did the break-in and the dog, All About Animals.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like she's getting a lot. $9,100.
Yeah, $9,000 bond. Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem right.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, it's
Same.
it's just a sad situation.
He should be forced to work in a homeless alcohol abuse center for 1,000 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you got 30 months plus, plus 400 hours, that's barely 400
Wow.
hours. I mean, 400 hours, if you think about it, you got a 40-hour week. So basically, he's going to be working just 10 days of community service, roughly. 10 days worth, 8 hours a day.
I got Crystal Fessel's Facebook. For those of you who want to add her as your friend, DS Photo Guy just put it up. We got pictures of her. Look at how creepy she is. He's got old crooked teeth.
Oh, this must have been before she went on meth.
Wow. Look at her hanging out with little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, look at that. Got all sorts of pictures on her. And thank you for that.
Show you what drugs will do to you.
Yeah. I mean, 400 hours, excuse me, I'm correct. I mean 50 days. Because
Wow.
if you're talking about an 8 hours a day, you're talking about that's about 400 hours. Yeah, 50 days.
That is pretty bad. Is this her? So she was definitely gone down in fast.
Like an avalanche
I will
fast.
take it down if it's not her. It is her. It looks exactly like her, DS. That's her on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to add her as a friend. So, who knows?
Oh, no. Definitely not.
So, anyway.
Definitely. I'll tell you who really was lined up for a lot of stuff last night, right after, just in case. I know this is not sports or even fake sports, but last night after TNA Impact Wrestling went off the air at 11 o'clock, Spike TV had a program of a countdown of the launch of the release of PlayStation 4, which was on this past last night. They had an opening during around midnight. The consumer quest had begun for the current video game Holy Grail, the PlayStation 4, which went on sale for right now, today, on sale for $399.
Wow.
Demand for the PS4.
It goes to show you where, and mostly, this is a male thing. This is a guy thing.
Well, yeah.
But it goes to show you how adolescent men are behaving today. They're into these games and all that shit. I mean, at one time they were digging ditches, they were building buildings, they were doing shit with their lives, and now you got these men like little boys playing video games all day, wasting life and time. Go out and get a job or do something.
Oh, compared to the super mature women who watching Real Housewives of such and such and Lilliput and whatever, fapping off, giving away, putting freaking herpes on 50 miles of whatever, 50 miles of Gray Highway, whatever the hell that book is called. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're real mature. Yeah. Anyway,
I'm just saying, Derek, that men. I'm talking about video game, and when I'm talking about TV.
There's nothing. What is childish about video games?
Those shows are watched just as much by guys as they are by women.
Yeah.
And 50 Shades of Grey, okay, I'll give you that one. That's mostly women. But I'm talking about video games, which is mostly men.
Yes.
And what it shows is how adolescent men have become. This is something that we brought up.
Humanity has become adolescent.
But
Men are just
I'm
little
talking
boys
about
with big
Fermenta Boys, the book Fermenta Boys,
bodies. Playing with bigger toys.
where one time, like my father's music was not my music.
Yes.
Although I got used to it after a while, but his clothing was not the clothes that I wore.
Right.
And today, you got grandfathers walking around in sneakers and T-shirts and baseball caps, and they like the same music as their grandkids. I mean, something has happened to the American male that they've been, what do you call it, castrated, whatever they call it.
Well, gilded, yeah, that's pretty much a good
That's
word to
all
say
I'm saying.
because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, not to sound sexist, but the thing is, people just don't give a flip about being a gentleman. It's not being appreciated, because I mean, if they did, we probably would dress better.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't. I mean, I'm just happy to wear this because it happened to be clean. It's just laundry day. I mean, granted, it's a new shirt, but still. I thank you for the comment, AT2, who said something about it. Yes, I know I've been going with that Huxtable, Tiger Woods type look for some time, but what you're going to do is the winter time. You're going to wear a sweater close to winter.
There we go.
Jason Allen, yeah. I was just saying, basically, the PS4 has just been released and is going to be available at Best Buy and all these other electronic stores.
Yes.
The Xbox One, which is the competing video game console, is going to be available next week, like day after Thanksgiving.
I'm sure there will be breaking news on people trampling over each other to get this game.
Oh yes.
You would think that people would do that to go to church or do something like really constructive. But no, iPhones, iPads,
sneakers,
sneakers, games,
tablets,
what else?
iPads, and
How
stuff.
about cracking open the damn Bible?
Yeah, John, crack open a Bible. You
Or
son
crack
of a-
open a Kindle. It would be more like, because people don't want to even read, papers and stuff, books. They rather get a Kindle.
Herpes?
Yeah. That's why that's why we need libraries. Because,
that would be
Well,
some poetic justice, wouldn't it? For
Kindles.
every single one of 50 Shades of Grey books
yeah.
to have the herpes virus on it. Let them all get it.
That'd be really messed up if you're able to get a herpes from an electronic book, an ebook version of it. That is kind of messed up.
Yeah. Okay, Tara. Thank you for stopping in.
Is that like a CSTD?
Uh.
Cyber socially transmitted disease?
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you. We will break something tonight. Who knows?
Yes.
I will see you tonight. I hope. If not, Anthony, please log on. It'll be great.
Definitely. Yeah,
Make
definitely.
comments. But I'd rather have you there. All right. Either way.
Yeah, break a leg tower. Anyway.
Bible thumpers are usually the most evil. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
On that one, I will agree, Anthony. People that like to use the Bible to make people feel guilty is not the purpose of what the Bible is all
Yeah,
about.
especially thumping on the Bible while on meth at the same time.
Yeah, that's
And letting go dogs and stuff.
yeah.
That type of stuff.
All right, let's close this out now, Derek. We got a couple of things to go.
Oh, yeah.
We
do.
got Wordsmith and
Who said it first? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have two of them. Who said it first? And word, excuse me, Word Origins from John Ato.
The newer edition.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
cyber edition.
Cyber edition of Word
Herpes
Origins.
free.
Herpes free. Yes. Yes, indeed. You don't need an outbreak suit or nothing.
All right.
This is
David
a very.
Koresh, I remember that.
This
Jim
word,
Jones.
yeah. David Koresh. That was a joke right
Yeah,
there.
they're in hell.
Oh yeah. First of all,
Thank
this dude wearing glasses talking about he Jesus. First of all, how you gonna be Jesus and you wearing glasses? What's your first?
Yeah.
What's your first? I mean, come on, Dave Koresh / Jesus. What's your first miracle gonna be? You gonna turn water into wine? No, I'm going to LensCrafters and correct my vision. Cling, cling. Come on. But I digress.
All right, there you go.
The word for today, which I'm very controversial
Hard to
in, Ed.
digest that. All right, go ahead.
I digress. Excuse me. The word for today is chink. This is the word. He found it. English has three words, I guess, of chink. The one denoting a sharp metallic sound, which is purely onomatopoeic, which means it's spelled just the way it sounds. The one meaning, another definition of it, one meaning small hole, is something of a mystery, but it may be an alteration of chine or fissure, as in a chink in the armor. Best known today as a term for a coastal ravine in Hampshire in the Isle of Wight, which came from Old English sinu, C-I-N-U, and also probably the most popular, infamous version of this word, definition of this word, chink, is as a demeaning term for a Chinese person, a facetious formation based on China or Chinese. So that's today's word.
There you go.
C-H-I-N-K.
Right. No, it wasn't spink. It was spink or
Chink.
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 Well,
Yes.
I can say, hey, let's go out for
Chink.
chink tonight.
Yeah.
Chinese food.
You know what?
Yeah, I'm actually hungry for chink food.
I didn't want to say it, but I'm just gonna say this was a story back when I was a teenager. Back in the day, people used to cut off like the nets off of basketball goals and stuff,
Yeah.
and they started putting nets and stuff like that, metal nets and stuff. And people were talking about, people got tired of, people like the swish of the nylon nets when you're playing basketball, but when they started, putting metallic nets on the basketball goal, it sounds like, ching, ching. It's like dudes talking about, instead of playing to me, hey man, you want to play some hoops? You want to play, they start saying, hey, you want to play some chinks? And that's, I'm just...
Wow, okay. Well, it doesn't say the N-word, does it?
Well, no.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying it's just kind of
exactly.
weird.
Yeah,
I'm sure
there
it's
you
in
go,
there somewhere.
Anthony. You hit it, baby. You see that? Yeah, that's a noise it makes.
Yeah, that's how the noise
Yeah,
makes.
what about
It's,
wop?
like it says, onomatopoeia.
Wop. Yeah. when they put it in.
Without papers. Well,
Yeah.
Remember, folks, everything in life is racial, as long as we're human beings. If not, we'd be talking about, how lizards live.
and you have the right to be offended at anything.
Yeah, you
Yes.
have a right, but you know what? Who cares?
Yeah. But speaking of, yes.
I will tell you with a big whatever.
Yeah, as a disclaimer, the words of DB is
Bye,
not,
and
or his does not reflect the
after
feelings
this, I'm going to
of
go watch Judge
very
Judy
much-
and get inspired, by the way. I love Judge Judy.
Had to put it in the disclaimer.
God, I
Thank you
love
too
that.
much.
I
And
got
also,
it.
who said it first? Go the whole hog. Who said that first?
Go the whole hog.
Must be some type of
Go the whole
farmer.
hog.
To act wholeheartedly and without reservation to supply anything to the fullest possible level. In
Yeah.
centuries past, hog may or may not have meant shilling or spending all of it, may or may not have engendered remarks about the whole hog, quote unquote. But there is no uncertainty that all along hog also meant pig.
Yeah.
See, another thing. Hog to pig, yeah. Americans regard the expression whole hog as having originated in the butchery trade in Virginia, where meat for sale was charged by its trimmed weight. An entire beast provided a great deal of meat, which worked out at a cheaper cost per pound. Groups of neighborhoods would economize by buying a whole hog. The first person to refer to the whole hog in print definitely meant a genuine pig. In 1779, British poet William Cowper wrote, "Hypocrisy detected about Muslims comforting over a cooked pig and attempting to follow the religious law that allowed only one part of a pig to be eaten. However, they couldn't remember which part, so by a process of hunger-influenced reasoning, they arrived at the inevitable conclusion, but for one piece they thought it hard, from the whole hog to be debawed, and set their wit at work to find what joint the prophet had in mind. Thus, conscience free from every clog, Mahometans ate up the hog. With sophistry their sauce they sweeten, 'tis quite from the tail to snout 'tis eaten." The first time the expression is known to have moved from the butcher shop into more general application was in 1828 when
Wow, this thing goes on
yeah, it's
forever.
a long time. When Andrew Jackson was running for president, Massachusetts Senator Daniel Webster wrote that Jackson, quote unquote, will either go with the party, as they say in New York, or go the whole hog, as is phrased elsewhere. And there you have it. Who said it first?
Well, you
Go
know
the
what's
whole
so
hog.
amazing about this is that the Who Said It First
Uh-huh.
and the word origins is our biggest post on our Morning Roast site.
Yeah, who would have thought?
People love to read this shit.
Yeah.
They love it. They
See?
love that we give them this kind of information.
Yes.
They don't watch our videos as much, although they do.
Yeah, sometimes they
But
do,
what
yeah.
they really want is this. They always read this crap. You know, we're so
Crap.
glad that we're able to give you a lot of horse shit and you eat it up real well. Oh, by the way, speaking of horse shit and elephant shit and all that and pigs,
Yeah.
we got the infamous Chris Christie from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
He weighs in on the Time elephant cover.
Oh, yeah. The elephant in the room.
Yeah, the elephant in the room. Yeah, and he says Governor Chris Christie, it doesn't bother him. He said Time magazine depiction of him as an elephant. If I'm bothered by jokes about my weight, it's time for me to crawl up into a fetal position. Can you do that? God,
Go.
so fat. Are you going to be able to crawl into a fetal position? Really, please. Christie said on ABC's This Week with George Stephanopoulos.
Back on
In
Sunday.
fact, that if they think it's clever, great for them.
Mm.
And the magazine publisher shows a shadowy silhouette of Christie's profile above the color line, the elephant in the room. Now, isn't the Republican mascot an elephant?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So it can have a lot of meanings behind it.
Oh,
right?
yeah. A whole lot of means.
The
It's
way
like
people think in New Jersey.
getting the whole hog.
Yeah. And the way the people of New Jersey look at this, their governor has been on the cover of Time magazine twice in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Christie said, we must be doing something right. The fact that it has reaffirmed what we did and our tragedy in the last 4 years. Go everywhere, show up, govern, and make decisions. Not just go to places where they vote for you, but go to places where they haven't voted for you.
Yeah.
Kind of like an elephant stampede.
Now that would be more
I
dangerous
actually
than running
like
with the
Chris
bulls.
Christie. I like Chris
Yeah.
Christie. I mean, I know he's a pretty honest guy. He'll tell you right to your face. It's kind of like a gigantic version of me. Big fat slob.
I'm a big fat slob.
Yeah, I thought the cover was witty too. It also looks like kind of Alfred Hitchcockish.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alfred Hitchcockish.
Yes.
All right, Derek, we got birthdays.
Yes, I was going to go through a quick version of them. Had some birthdays. Johnny Lee Miller, who was the, I think, first ex-husband of Angelina Jolie. He's been in two critically acclaimed 1996 movies, Train Spotting and Hackers.
Yeah.
Also, he turns 41 years old today. Petula Clark,
Ugh.
a British prop singer who had the hit with Downtown.
Petula. It's Petula?
Petula Clark. Petula Clark. She had a hit with Downtown in
up with that
1965. Yeah, her parents obviously.
Yeah.
And has worked as an actress and composer. She turns 81 years old today. Sam Waterston, Academy Award-winning actor who played the role of Jack McCoy in the television series Law and Order. He turns 73 years old today. Ed Asner, who played Lou Grant on the Mary Tyler Moore Show and on the Lou Grant Show, which
He's
is
still alive, right?
yes, he's still alive. He's political activist. He turns 84 years old. He's also been on the animated series The Boondocks. Actually,
It's weird how he went from that show, Mary Tyler Moore, to his own show where he was playing a serious character.
yeah, which was the same character, just in a
It
more
was the
dramatic.
same character, except he wasn't funny anymore.
Yeah, it wasn't funny. It was kind of I didn't like it that way.
I don't like him either.
Russell Tyrone Jones, who was born on this day in 1968, who was died in 2004. He was best known as the rapper Old DB or Old Dirty Bastard.
Yeah.
Not this DB. He was
I
a former,
felt bad that he died. believe it or not.
former member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
Yes.
he died young.
Wu-Tang Clan.
Now, what did he die of?
Something.
Crack overdose. Who knows?
Kevin Eubanks, who was the band leader for the Tonight Show for the Jay Leno Show bands, he turns 56 years old today. Yes, he played for the band. He played for the Tonight Show band. For
Yeah, Kevin
Jay Leno.
Eubanks. Yeah, yeah, he was always the one smiling.
Yeah. How you doing, Jay?
He replaced with the Marsalis brothers, right?
Yeah, Wynn Marsalis. Yes. Yes, Wynn Marsalis. Branford Marsalis.
Branford
excuse me.
Marsalis.
Branford
But didn't
Marsalis.
Winton come in? Or?
Well, Wynn is the trumpet player, but it was
They
Branford
all
Marsalis
suck.
because Branford plays the saxophone, Wynn plays the trumpet. Yeah. Also, one more.
No, he's not dead. Nobody said that. Kevin Eubanks, he's not dead.
Yes. Also, want to say there's a birthday for Judy Gold, who was a prolific stand-up comedian, won 2 daytime Emmy Awards for work as a writer and producer on the Rosie O'Donnell Show. Bob Gunton, who most famous for playing the warden in the Shawshank Redemption. He's 68 years old today. And also Yaphet Kotto, famous African-American actor who was nominated for Best Supporting Actor Primetime Emmy Award for his role on Raid on Entebbe. He's 74 years old.
Judy Gold's on that most stupidest or whatever, dumbest, with Danny Bonaducci and all that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's on that show now.
You know what? That was a story. People were talking about like of origins of certain words, and even some. There's a story about that the Little Red Riding Hood, which may have an origin that maybe not necessarily solely from Europe. Says Little Red Riding Hood may become depicted as a pale-skinned and blonde little girl, but has distant relatives in Africa and Asia, according to research. Scientists have traced the folktale evolutionary tree and found links with similar stories far away as China, Japan, and Korea. Says it first started off as a story called The Wolf and the Kids, a story dating back in the 1st century A.D. and popular in Europe and the Middle East that tells of a wolf that impersonates a nanny goat and devours her offspring. But 1,000 years later, the wolf was still casting the role, but the nanny goat was transformed into Red Riding Hood's grandmother. and other stories which had different variants of the same particular story in Africa and Asia, where the wolf was replaced by an ogre or a tiger.
There you go. By the way, true story.
I'll give you the
I'll
link.
hit that again because this is a whoop-de-doo moment.
Okay.
I actually played Little Red Riding Hood in a church fundraiser, believe it or not. And I had the worst Little Red Riding Hood voice. I was kind of yelping out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, grandmother, what big eyes you have?
Believe it or not, I swear to you. And I got a massive amount of people surrounding me afterwards. They thought I did a great job. Exactly. Could you believe it? I played Red Riding Hood. Ain't that some shit? I felt like the black guy on Saturday Night Live having to play women. Nobody wanted to do it. Yeah, you should believe it. It's true. So help me God. I'm not kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Oh
my goodness. Well, like the mummy, it's a wrap. Just want to thank all of our guests and mods: Ashley34, ATT, DS Photo Guy, Master Meatball.
Hey, Grandma, what big eyes you got?
Too much. Wartown. You're a Wildcat and kill Janet Reno.
And that was kind of my voice.
Mohammed Hussein, Guten Tag Nordschnack. Hope you have a good weekend. Real Men Pawns, Smurfs, and Zap1. And also, thank you for Three Bears, Tower of London, and Saibuki, who was here earlier today. Thank you for going. Hope you check us out tonight at the Douglas Theater. And after that, we'll see you again on Monday. Until next time, also thank you, Urak. Also, until next time, this is Irv, Ed, and DB saying, can you smell what the roast is brewing?
Check us out tonight, Urak.